All right. Tried to use the other phone and it's like, oh, prove it's you. What the fuck? And of course, none of the passwords work, so it doesn't let you get in even if you try. And then before, I was like, I saw something and I tried to do it, and then like the thing ended up charging me $200 instead of $5. So I was trying to get that like taken care of because my memory is always like there. So I'm like, please, like let me know. I don't want that. So it's been a crazy few minutes. Let's see. Here we go. Hi, Songs of Starlight. Alright. I don't know if you have any questions. That's what we're here for. The memberships question tonight, or the memberships get to ask their questions tonight. And I have it like out there so everybody can see, but only the members can comment. So if somebody watches or pops in order to comment their question, they would sign up for $4.99. That way I don't have to like keep track of it. So how are you guys doing? I wonder why can't I remember? That would be nice. No. Of course not. Ow. Hi guys, how are you? If anybody has their questions, they can send them in. I tried to do this from the other phone, but I can't ever remember to get into like my stuff. I just had a bunch of chaos like occur right before I came on. Maybe I don't even know if I don't even think I can log in anymore to the other one. Can I just no, I don't care. I don't need to go there. Just let me be back here. Thanks. What am I? All right. That way I can kind of keep an eye over here too, because over there it's like pain in the ass. Yes, I've been thinking about my North Node in Capricorn and South Node in Cancer. How can I integrate those nodes into my life, and what's my life purpose for these nodes? Thank you. Okay. About a year ago, I don't even know. I guess it was probably a year ago. I had looked up my North Node and my South Node things like through Google, and just reading about them, like who, like what, because your South Node and your North Node carry your information about your past lives and shit, and usually one is like what you're trying to avoid but should be doing, and one of them is like the thing that we just, it's like we find these defaults or these things that we find comfortable because of those placements. And just by reading about those things, like I ended up, going down a rabbit hole, but it was all very synchronistic, and not just for myself. Like I was reading it and seeing how like it was for myself, but it was actually like flipped for another person that has the same nodes. Like they were doing it one way and I'm doing it the other way, but we were both like doing it to the extremes of the ways that we shouldn't be doing it. So looking that up, just like I can't remember like exactly what I typed in, but it was like what prompted it was seeing like your North Node and your South Node are connected to your past life and to your karma and to like your purpose and all of that. So if you look into like past life of the ones that you have, I feel like that will help you too, just to intuitively be guided to the right information. And then Saturn, Capricorn says karma, order, structure, hard work, mature, professional, stewardship, discipline, time, creation, organizer, boundaries, commitment, materialize, slow pace, stubborn. And then Divine Mother says, allow the divine to nurture. Nature leads when you surrender. So again, allow, like, be structured within the way that you approach it, but allow yourself to surrender and allow things to like naturally guide you. And then we have inner worlds, explore internal planes, consciousness creates all of your dreams. And then the 12th house, which is about dreams, in endings, old age, poetry, surrender. This says surrender, this says surrender, this says dreams, this says dreams. Like, they're literally the same messages coming through. So I feel like there's going to be guidance within your dreams. There's going to be messages that you need to surrender to receive in order for you to figure this out, because you can come to me and ask me like that question of like, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? And you know, what's my ba-ba-ba-bas? And I can give you a little bit of a like direction, and I can help you a little bit, but only you're going to know like within yourself, and only you're going to be able to like make those final decisions on it. And it comes with commitment. Anything that we want to do, we need to commit to. Relations, friends, community, renewal, the unseen, transformation, revolution, change, progress, electricity, space, science fiction, radio, frequency, occult. So this is Uranus and Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is like that weirdo energy. Like I break out of the mold. I'm not like everybody else. And then ancient activation, allow the ancestors to access and assist you. So I feel like you need to break out of the mold of like what, you know, society thinks of, like almost like a secret society, but not in the negative way of like, oh, they're like, you know, bad people or whatever. It's just like looking for the symbolism, the deeper meanings within things, exploring what makes sense to your psyche, what makes sense to your mind, going with like the unseen, the occultism. I feel like basically what they're saying is like you have a mission within the weird. You have a reason to explore this stuff. Like the fact that you're here getting a reading shows that you're not just like part of the mundane, every other person out there that's like, you know, part of, oh, you're being a banker, you're supposed to be a banker or whatever. Like you're different. And clarity will shine upon you again. Open your eyes and smile with new friends. So I feel like being somebody that comes, not like like the secret society in a bad way, again, it's just like finding the people who get it, who understand you, who explore that shit, philosophy, religion, beliefs, all of these different things. It's like there's not just one, and they don't all you know, like we don't have to be like, oh, I'm only gonna explore Buddhism, I'm only gonna explore this. It's like when we're spiritual people, we explore all of it because we're open to all of it. So I feel like finding the right people that you spend your time with is going to help you to figure that out. Like who do you aspire to be like? Because that, like, who do you really look up to? Who do you really like when you think about people in the world? Like if there's somebody that you really like thought, wow, like I'd like to be like that person or have that person's life or live a life similar to that person. If you have anybody that you can think of like that, that's usually kind of like a, hey, that's maybe where you should be focused. And then I serve daily, which is health, organization, and upkeep. So also like chaos or creation. How you choose to live will be what you get to see. Divine and aligned or chaotic state of mind is what this is saying. It's like when your room is a mess, when your house is a mess, when your car is a mess, when your bag is a mess, your wall, anything around you doesn't even have to be a mess. It could just be like there's some clutter, there's some stagnancy, there's like a bunch of clothes that you haven't worn in a bunch of like long time, or a bunch of stuff that's just like, you know, sitting there and gaining all this like around it, this energetic debris. They're saying have like an upkeep, an organization, so that you can get organized within your mind and know like who you long to be like, or what you want to do in this world, or what makes sense for your purpose and all of that. I keep seeing the contrasting card. It says dark helps us use the light, choosing wrong helps us know what was right. So if you have a tendency to attract things that are not, or if you have a tendency to notice, like sometimes I go into shit thinking it's the right thing, and then it's like, oh man, it wasn't the right thing. It's helping you to balance out your karma. Like we have to make mistakes, we have to figure out what's not right in order to figure out what is right. So the way this world is, it's like everybody feels like, oh, I gotta go to college and I gotta go learn this thing and that's it forever. and I think it's stupid that they do it at like 18, because like nobody knows who the fuck they are, what they want to do, even in their 30s, their 40s. Some of the biggest famous people that have done like the most amazing things didn't do it till they were like 40, 50, 60. You know, so there's no rush and there's no time like that. Like everybody should just be like on point and knowing exactly who they are, where they want to be for the rest of their life. And if they decide like, oh, you know what, like I don't like this anymore, I don't want to do it anymore, they have the freedom to do that. But a lot of people won't give themselves that freedom. They like sign up and stick to it, and that's it. And that's why they make such a big deal about it going into it too, because they like condemn themselves for the rest of their lives to some way of being or some career or some job. So even if you're not like that, the world around you being that way can make you feel like there's something wrong with you, that you should know now, you should already have this all figured out. What's the matter with you? And I think it's an unfolding. I think it takes time, and I think it blossoms and it changes over time. It's not something that's like, you know, one for the most part, like especially that Aquarius energy, it's like, well, you might start off as a healer, and then you might start off doing some other work, and then you might start off and maybe you write a book and you add that in, and it evolves and it grows and it expands. But I feel like the best way to figure those things out is to like follow what you are like called to. You know, we have loyal, intuitive, mysterious. So what mysteries call to you intuitively? Like, where do you feel called to go explore? Create alternate reality. Create to navigate to uncharted places. So you may not even see thing out there that is what you want to be, or anybody out here doing what you might want to do, because maybe you're here to create it. Maybe there's something that's never been done. But clarity will shine upon you again. Open your eyes and smile with your friends. I feel like you need to like get closer to people, or find the right people to look at. And they say you're like the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you're always around the same people, nothing's changing, but you want to change, then you should keep that in mind, that like you need to probably change up who you're near. I got, and where the fuck is that deck? Come on. It's like no matter what I do, I can't find shit. Alright. Let me see. Live chat. Come on, man. I did this so it'd be easier. It's like no. Alright, let me see. I don't know why I was unsubscribed from the channel. I had to do it again. I'm sorry. I don't know. I have no control over that. I don't even really look at those things. I just show up here and go live. But I know there's different things. All right, let's see. So I have my soul purpose and life purpose oracle, and then that one that I like. But I got infinite abundance. It says you're fully supported as you devote yourself to your life purpose. So just know that, yeah, you've got fucking options. And I feel like it's up to you to decide. Like they don't necessarily have like this is exactly what you should do, because you should decide it. So you could do automatic writing, you know, or write a journal to give yourself some guidance. Like do you want to write a book? Maybe you should just be a writer. But if not, maybe journaling about who you are, what you like to do, what are the options that are out there. Like maybe you like oracle cards, maybe you're into the light and love and you want to be a healer. Maybe you're somebody that has a very deep sensitivity and you could teach children, or you could be a spiritual teacher, or you could do justice. Like I keep seeing the scales with you, which I did notice with the options card. It was like she's holding the scales. So you could bring justice to people's lives. You know, we don't have a very good justice fucking system. So to bring light workers in there would probably help a little bit, just to to make things better in those cases. But they're also maybe studying that you need to do. Like I said, you may start off today learning stuff and evolve to a spiritual teacher, because you're not going to be a spiritual teacher right out the gate. You could probably teach children right out the gate, and maybe you start out as a children's teacher and then evolve over time into teaching other concepts and other things, or maybe becoming a counselor. It's really just an evolution, I feel, for most of us, and it should be like that for us. You know, like if you want to be an animal communication, you be an animal communication. If you want to be a vet, you got to put a lot more time, energy, and effort in that. So you'd want to think about it before you go put a bunch of money down and be like, yeah, let me be a vet. And then you discover, I can't be a vet because I'm so sensitive that it's going to destroy me to work there and see all of that and, you know, be a part of that. Because people only look at the surface of things sometimes. They don't really look deeper into, like, yeah, you're going to be saving animals' lives or doing the little checkups, but what about when an animal gets hit by a car and it dies on the table and it's like, ah, is that too traumatic for your sensitivities? And we also had trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. So instead of looking at it as like, I need to know exactly right now where I'm going, just trust that you're going to know where to go, when to go, and how to get there. When you let go, walk away. Like, I feel like this is like let go of needing to know, you know, and just go study and learn what feels right to you in the moment. And then when things don't feel right anymore, go on to the next thing. Maybe it's going to be crystals for a little bit. And as an author or a writer, you can explore tons of subjects, because you could be a blogger about spirituality, and that's infinitely abundant. And we're going to talk about yoga today, we're going to talk about breath work today, we're going to talk about crystals today, we're going to talk about the shadow work, we're going to talk about deep sensitivities, we're going to talk about and it's an infinite thing. It's like there's no end. And that's why spiritual people have a lot of options too with this career. It's like you're never cut off. It's just your perspective on it. And Leo is here, which we just had the full moon. It says pride, royal control. So just take pride in what you do, whatever you do, even if it's like, I'm just at a like thing that's not really my purpose, but I'm there in service. Maybe I'm a service like provider of food, or I'm a service provider of something. I'm a merchant. It says opportunities to prosper are everywhere. Logical, discerning, flexible, financial, philosophical, creative, communicative, social, brilliant, quick, evaluative, technical, and inventive. So you could go be a freaking cashier somewhere, and that could end up, if you followed your gut and did it the right way and trusted it, you might meet somebody that you're checking out that ends up being like this thing that's going to be the muse to take you somewhere else and connect you to something else, where you're communicating that mystic teacher inside of you. Usually whatever we're meant to be comes up too on its own. It's like it's just there under the surface. Like if you're a leader or somebody that has certain skills, usually when you walk into a job, they put you in the right place, you know, sometimes very quickly. Like I've had jobs where it's like, I didn't apply for that job, but like my first day, they're like, oh, we're going to do this. And it's a totally different thing, a lot more responsibility, but it's just who I am. When I walk into those places, it takes over. I don't really, a lot of times I didn't even really want the things that I'm like, oh, okay. I just wanted to be like here one day a week. They're like, no, we need you to run the whole place. Like legit, that happened. And I did. I ran the whole place for like years. They fired the other woman like that week, and then trained me, and that was it. But you have a leader energy here too. And it says, the leader of an inspiring, confident, purposeful person with the clarity to courageously lead others towards a better future. You could embody the true essence of leadership in that you guide by example and teach others to lead themselves. You have a vision, therefore you can help others create a vision, inspire them to align with goals. You are brilliant, heart-centered, and led from the inside out. And by tapping into the divine guidance, trusting your intuition, and being an authentic expression of your most valued gifts and talents, you are passionate about developing people and knowing that true fulfillment comes from genuinely being valued. You expertly build a secure structure where your team is using their most valued gifts to achieve more than they believe is possible, while contributing to the success of the whole. And you've united them, and now they are committed to moving your mission forward as if it were their own. And that's like a good leader does that. That's why they didn't like that lady when I went into that place, because she like was like bleh, 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 just a bitch, and everybody was afraid of her, and nobody was happy. And so I wasn't like that type of leader. I was like, I'll fucking pour the dressings beside you. I'll stay later than everybody here and clean up after people. I'll let people go home early. I let people like have a sick day without worrying that they're gonna lose their job. You know, I could be a bitch, and people had like that respect thing, but I also wasn't above them in that way of like, oh, I'm not gonna do it because I'm better than you. I didn't let the thing go to the head of like bleh, craziness. I was more. I had my brothers and sisters all working for me at that time too. Like once I got in there, so they were the ones that got the brunt of my shit. But they've now all become, you know, good at working because of that. It says with the leader, you could become addicted to power and delude yourself into thinking that power and responsibility are yours and yours alone. So if you were stressed, you would be over controlling when that happens, and it may be impossible for the team to trust you or be led by you. And you could literally squeeze the life out of your mission. And if you find yourself in the shadow of a leader, you may have lost the connection to source and put your ego in charge, and it's time for a serious break to get back to the roots of whatever spiritual practice keeps you tuned in and present. So the inspired action plan is, I practice presence to be divinely aligned with my high value gifts, and I live into my greater potential while courageously leading others to theirs. So I feel like you have that ability to lead others or communicate and lead others to the right places even. It's like maybe you're going to be somebody that does, you know, blogging about a bunch of topics that helps people lead them to the right discovery. And with the Cancer, that's a nurturer. That's somebody that's very nurturing and loving. And then the other side of it, what was the other side of it? Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn is like opposite, but Capricorn is about leadership. Look at that. Take charge of the situation. Capricorn Saturn is like, I'm gonna leave a legacy. I'm gonna be in fucking charge. I'm gonna make traditions. They're the ones that get the status and the fame because they don't let go. They're not a follower, and they're not somebody that's gonna be like easily giving up, and they have the strength and the will to achieve. People make fun of it like, oh, they're just about money, and it's like they're just about like getting through that shit. Like it's not even necessarily about money. It's about like what it takes to get money, being that person and showing up and consistently leading and leading by example as best as they can. Sometimes things are out of our control, like Chiron, the wounded healer. Sometimes we get our asses kicked, and we have to learn to nurture ourselves and not take responsibility for everything so much that we block ourselves, or we, you know, create like it's like a block to our infinite abundance. You know, there's all these opportunities and things, but if we try to do everything and take on too much, or we get sick and we don't give ourselves that break or balance, we can lose things or lose control of things, and we can be a little bit like, I need it now, or like a little bit of a like a control freak, or just like here, I'll do it because you're not going to do it right type of energy. And that would maybe need to be worked on. So everything has an origin story, and every story has pieces that lead back to tomorrow, and no matter how far you go, there you will be. So this basically says is like we're always returning to ourselves. Like we're always going to keep running into ourselves no matter where we go, what we do. So you might as well, you know, figure out what is it about you that works and doesn't work. Who do you like and what don't you like, and all of that. I really feel like writing may be something that it will just either give you the answers to figure this out, like doing the shadow work, doing the prompts of like, who am I? But a phase of darkness will help you to see clearly again. And Pluto is that death, occultism, spiritism, shadows, ghosts, the unseen, the unknown. So I feel like you need to go into the unknown, the shadow parts of yourself. Figure out what parts have you outgrown, okay? And think about that stuff. Think about the unseen parts of yourself, the discarded parts of yourself. Love those parts of yourself. And clarity will shine when you connect with new people. Take yourself out of the surroundings of maybe the people who don't really have the same dreams or the same goals or the same motivation. Like if you're a leader, but the people you're surrounding with won't be led, you may need to find other people who have self-value and worth in that self and want to be led. And when you communicate, they listen and they appreciate you, and you may need that appreciation to keep going. Sometimes we just have to find the right place to communicate and share our gifts. You know, and it's very subtle things. Like there's a lot of things that I wish I did differently or set up in a different way, because there's two ways to set things up and there's two ways to be perceived by people. And there's some people who value you regardless of like those little nuances, but there's other people that let the little nuances or the little things really impact it. And so if you don't be mindful of the way you go out to do something, or the way that you present it, or even just feel about yourself or think about yourself, it will show up around you, and then it's really hard to break out of, because you've created a whole thing around you that's in that energy, or you've created something around you that maybe you no longer really want to be like doing or leading with. And when you try to step away from that, people are like, no, we need you to lead. And it's like, no, you need to fucking lead yourself. Letting go away. Says walk away from the situation in order to resolve it. So if you have anything like that, where you have your heart's desire, you want to be a leader, but there's people or things in your way that are keeping you from doing it, even if it's yourself, maybe it's an old version of yourself, not letting the new version of yourself lead. You got to figure that out, surrender into it. Be gentle, sensitive, and emotional, but also be very like, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to fucking wait anymore. New levels of awareness are available to assist in your evolution. Do not shy away from a soul revolution. So I feel like it's time for you to evolve and go. Charm, analyze, get intuitively connected. Go within for your answers and take lead of your progress and your forward motion. And then any deep wounds that you have, let them be cleansed and healed, without like, don't look at it as a negative. Anything you find in yourself that you need to heal or clear or whatever, just know that, mark it down as another thing that you can help guide other people through, because now you have that under your belt. Like, oh, okay, I've got to the other side of that. Now I know how to handle it. So I'm going to, maybe either write about it, just keep notes about these things, so that when you do teach other people or you do find yourself in that position, you can guide others in that way. I have my North Node in my 12th house. Okay. 12th house is like being in jail. Like, it's like connected to jail and psych wards, and I think, yeah. Hello, Paloma. Let me see. I feel compelled to teach kids about my meditation and art, and also writing. That's funny, because I saw the creative expression one. I kept seeing children and teaching, and then I saw the creative expression one here. So if that's what your heart desires, go ahead and try it out. You could definitely lead children, and writing can also be us writing into being what it is we want. Like, write it down as if it's here. Like, what does your dream life look like? Like, every day I get up and I go to see my kids at this thing that I teach, or my practice that I run. Maybe you have like a daycare, a spiritual daycare for kids. There's a lot of people out there that want to teach their kids this stuff, but they don't know how, and they don't know where to go. And there's not a lot of people out there that teach specifically to kids or have anything that's kid friendly specifically. So if you made that, whether it was in person or online or whatever, I feel like you could use that and help a lot of people. Yes, I have to be a leader. Setting boundaries is something I have to do more, and say no as well. I feel like it'd be easier with kids too, though, because like kids are, it's like no. But I mean, some kids are harder. Justice. I love to help people in the world and make it a better place. Nice. I feel, yeah. Awesome. See, and Paloma is resonating with it too. You were unsubscribed from the channel? That's weird. See, I told you guys, like my channel has just like progressively lost subscribers, and I'm like, I haven't even uploaded anything. Like, it's like, I highly doubt that people are like out there like, oh, she hasn't uploaded, fuck her, I'm gonna go unsubscribe. Like, when you upload something somebody doesn't like, that I could see that resulting in an unsubscribe, but not just like a random fucking unsubscribe like on a silent channel. But I think they do take them away for some reason. I don't know. I've heard it from other people. So let's see. I have my North Node. Okay. Hello. I'd like to ask for any guidance and how my twin is doing. It's been a year since we last talked to each other. And also, I've been using your manifesting journal. That's helped me a lot. Thank you. Yay! Awesome sauce. So, let me get twin flame. I had like an epiphany moment the other day because I was like, you know, teaching people about stuff, concepts and things, and I'm like, why don't I just make one of those things? Like, one of the good ways to manifest or to fix your fucking mindset and all of that is through affirmations, but also affirmations while you're drifting off to sleep and going into the theta state. That's when your mind is the most programmable. And I keep telling people to record themselves, you know, saying these positive things, but I know a lot of people don't even know what to say. Like in my head is easy, simple, just say those things, and they're like, what things? How am I? Because they maybe mess up in the. I catch people mess up in the wording a lot. Like, yeah, I'm manifesting. Yeah, I'm getting. I'm going. And those aren't the right words for our brain to take the best of it. It's still better than like, I can't, I'm not. But I was gonna make scripts that people could like fill in for certain things. Like, you want to manifest more love, you want to manifest more beauty, you want to manifest communication, you want to manifest blah, blah, blah. Scripts people can recite to themselves, like record it on their phone, and I can probably even give them like directions on how to do that in a way that they don't have to pay to save it anywhere. They can listen to it as many times as they want for free, and you know, or even just loop it so that it's like an 8-hour track all night long of their voice, their own voice being programmed into themselves. Because I've seen other people in this type of stuff, or like the ones that do like neuroscience and stuff. They're like, yeah, you should record your own voice. And it was after I had said it to a few people, and I'm like, oh my god, I was right. So that inspired that. Stripping down beliefs, masculine beliefs. So if you have beliefs about your masculine, they're gonna block them. You know, like he may be wanting to express himself. He may want to reach out to you. He may want loyal companionship. He may want you and know that you can do it with each other. Like, I know we can do it, but he may feel your resentment, or he may be so afraid to come to you because of the vibration and the frequency or the thoughts that you're thinking, and they may not even be ones that you're conscious of. You know, like, you may not even realize that you have something deep down inside of you that makes no fucking sense, but it could be blocking the reconciliation. Says it's time to unite, work together now. So it's like, you guys could probably come together, work together. You excite me in ways I never knew existed, but please don't give up on me and let me back in. I want you now. This tells me like there's probably a disconnect within the energetic things that are going on. It's like, he wants to come keep you safe and warm. He's wanted you since the moment he saw you. But if you have insecurities or fears or doubts or some programming that I'm not worthy of him, or I've put him on this pedestal that makes me think that he's, you know, so amazing because, oh, he's my twin flame, and he's just like, that can cause some fucking issues around how we show up and how they show up. Yeah, look, stop trying to impress me. You already blow me away. But if you already blow him away and you're trying to impress him, or you feel like nervous in his presence, or you feel nervous about this, or you just need to alleviate all this tension and this stress and all this buildup of this time where you haven't been around, you know, you're bringing out your insecurities because he's your mirror. So it's like, you're bringing out all my insecurities, but like, your insecurities get mirrored to you in him, and vice versa. So it's like, he could be looking at you from afar, not wanting you to know, and you may be kind of doing the same thing, or thinking about him from afar, but not wanting him to know because you're both feeling insecure, but you're manifesting it inside of each other because you're bound to each other and you have a deep connection. We also have, I didn't mean to provoke you. So there could have been something that he did that provoked a belief within you that was like from childhood. Like, all men are going to do this. All men are going to hurt you. All men are going to fucking betray you. You know, something stupid that makes no sense. But I feel like there is like even an obsession. So it could be on his side too, that he needs to clear beliefs that he's got. Like, if he's obsessively watching but not speaking up, and he doesn't even know what the fuck he's running from, but he's running, or he's avoiding, or wearing a mask, his beliefs could be being projected out onto you. And it's like, she doesn't want to talk to me. She's like, this would never work. It's just like, you know, we tell ourselves these weird little things, and sometimes we feel like they're not a big deal, or we don't even realize that we're doing it. Like, I've caught myself in the past when I was like just doing random stuff around the house, and I have like this weird thought of like, it would never work because of that, or because of this. And it's like stupid, insignificant shit, but it's also shit that's been like fed to us as society, or fed to us throughout our lives, like depending on who we are. But I feel like when we work on our beliefs and we clear our beliefs, soul cleanse, I've been purifying my mind and soul. I know we are meant to be and are committed to our love. It's like that knowing and that thing can come together, because it's like not so much fears are around it, or not so much maybe he feels guilty, or he feels like he betrayed you, or he feels badly, I provoked you and I'm sorry, so I'm just going to watch you and not want you to know. You bring out all of my insecurities, and I don't know if I could ever be the man for you. You know, everything's falling apart and I'm a failure. So he's got things falling apart in his life. He feels like a failure. And you may have anything going on in your life that you feel like isn't working out. Obviously, look, we haven't talked in a year. The longer that we haven't talked, the heavier that is. The more that weighs on you, the bigger it is. It's like, I don't even know. I'm just going to give up, because it hurts and it's sad and it's like killing me and I don't know, and I just So if you're doing any of that, try to alleviate that pressure, and know that, like, you don't have to do anything to impress him. You don't have to be anything other than who you are, because who you are is, if you're his twin, that's it. That's all you got to be. That's all you are. And it says, you always know exactly what to say and do to make me feel peaceful again. And then craziness. I have so much love for you. It makes me crazy. I know you feel it too. Are we losing our minds, or is this what true love feels like? So you guys probably are both aware of each other. Even though the deafening silence is there for so long, it's like you probably still think about each other, you probably still wonder about each other, probably still frustrated by it. I feel like he's definitely watching you. Like, he's like, you got the stalker spy, I don't want you to know. I don't want you to know again here. So I feel like that's confirmation. He is keeping eyes on you, but he's got a lot of anxiety. So if you've got anxiety, get rid of that anxiety as best as you can. Because, like, he needs you to be his calm place. Like, men look at women as a place that is safe for them to feel, because men aren't usually allowed to feel in this world. It's like women are like the emotional ones, so it's like, you gotta teach me how to love you. You gotta teach me that it's okay to be calm and like release and not hold back everything, and you know, get all jealous and weird about stuff, or feel insecure about stuff, or feel like I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Like, I'm all full of doubts. I don't even know why you fucking like me, because I'm so guarded and I run away and I've hurt you and I've done bad things, and now I'm embarrassed by it. But it's like, only you can soothe me, because it was you that I did it to. So if you can teach me and let me know that, like, you still love me unconditionally, or you're not gonna fucking hate me, or that, like, there's nothing like that. There's no hate or betrayal type of energy that's lingering on your side. And maybe there is. And if you have anything on your side like that, that would need to be cleared out too. You know, like, he maybe wants you to nurture him, but maybe you're upset that he hasn't reached out, or has been a year. You may not even realize that you're just getting a little frustrated because of how long it's gone. And the longer time it goes by, the more frustrated you get. You may not necessarily be projecting it onto him, but just out of self fucking preservation, over time you have to turn a shoulder to it. You have to start to put up a wall, or try to separate yourself from it, so that you don't you know, get so hurt or be so miserable all the time. Like, you got to live your life and do your things. You can't sit around crying all the time. So if he hasn't shown up, he could perceive your pulling away, or like focusing on other things, as in, like, you just don't like me anymore because I fucked it all up. So always keep in mind that if you have a lot of shit, that they probably do too, and he could be sinking into his own depths of his own despair, but you may be like the key to helping him come out of that, by just letting him know, like, yeah, you don't have anything to be confused about. You may feel foolish and stupid, which maybe you should, but, like, it doesn't mean that I hate you forever, or I don't want you to talk to me. So even communicating to him telepathically, and you have nothing to worry about. Nobody compares. So if you felt jealous, or like maybe thought that he was seeing another person or something, I feel like you don't have anything to worry about with that. Let me see. Oh, you did it. Oh no. Well, Paloma, I think if you unsubscribe from one of them, I don't handle the money part, but you can always have, like, YouTube just tell them what you did. I'm sure there's like a button to refund or something. If you're like, they'll be able to see that you did it twice. Yes, I feel betrayed because he did it and he's still with the third party. And then I saw her the other day. Yeah, so, like, that stuff, like, he's saying, don't focus on that. I don't know if you, I did the, what do you call it, the Psyche and Eros event the other day. And in it I was talking about, like this shit, jealousy and fucking karmics, and how we can get consumed in that, and like that's like the main fucking focus, and it's like meh! And unfortunately that keeps it there. So the best approach to it is to act like the bitch don't exist, you know? Like, don't even, like, I know it's hard if you see her or whatever, but the do the best you possibly can to act as if she's not even alive, like she's not even there, like just, and like obviously take your focus off of him and her as much as possible, put it onto yourself, filling yourself up, forgiving whatever's happened, letting go of whatever's happened, being okay with who you are, feeling confident in who you are, knowing what your boundaries are, knowing what your self-respect is all about, and then like getting clear with yourself too, like if you are feeling that way about him, then maybe start asking yourselves, like, why do I even care? Like, why would, like, if he's that way or he's done that thing to me, can I forgive him? If I can't forgive him or I don't trust him, then I might as well go find someone else, because it's going to be a waste of my fucking time, even if he's not with her. But if I know, like, deep down I can forgive him, or that it doesn't matter, that it's just like, this is just part of the thing, and it's just been chaos, or like, no matter what, I still love him, but, you know, I'm still hurt. Work on like detaching from that. Don't pay attention to him and what he's doing or where she is or what she's doing. Just focus all your energy on you. Like when I had a situation come up, there was a girl, like I had been hanging out with him, seeing him all the time. Like I had no fucking idea that there was like another fucking person, because the way that I was like talked to and interacted with and seeing stuff, like he had just had something happen, broke up, and it was like a big fucking catastrophe bullshit thing. So it wasn't really, his thing was like coming out of that, going slow. But then all of a sudden, we did have like a connection sexually after all those months of not, and it was like overwhelmed. So he shut down and pulled away, and then all of a sudden he starts seeing this other girl, or maybe was seeing this other girl. I don't know which came into the picture, but all of a sudden there's another girl. And I was like, oh, okay. So I unfollowed him so I wouldn't see those triggers anymore. I confirmed like who she was, what was going on, and I was, you know, betrayed, because like he ended up doing all the things that he had said he wanted to do here with me over there. And I'm, all right, go ahead, do that. Bye. I'm not gonna look. I'm not even gonna pay attention to it, because that's just gonna fucking piss me off and make me feel badly about myself. I'm gonna look at her and compare myself. Like, what about her? And I didn't want to do that, so I just never looked again. And then he actually came back like last year pretty quickly, and I don't know if they, I feel like they may have already been separated, because of the way that he had approached me then was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like he said other things that kind of would indicate like at least part of the thing was no longer working the way it had been at that time that they were brought to my attention. But I didn't look. I wanted to look, but I didn't look because I didn't really want to know. I was like, I don't even want to know, because if I know, I'm just gonna be pissed off, and I don't want to know. So I didn't look. And then this year, Christmas time, he reached out again and was like, blah, 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 all these things. And I'm like, thought you had a girlfriend. He was like, that was last year. So for all that time in between, I didn't know. But I feel like if I did keep looking, if I did keep checking on that, if I did keep getting those reminders, she would have still lingered around a lot more. She would have been more prevalent, or things would have lasted longer, because we are all co-creating. There's multi-dimensional reality here. There's like a billion timelines, and there's this timeline you're on, and there's this timeline that is right here where it's like they're not together, and then there's one right here, it's like you two are together, and there's one over here where it's like none of you ever fucking talk again, and it's like depending on what things you think and what way you go and where you are and who you talk to and how you fucking perceive and project and create is going to determine all of that. So it's like you can jump, boom, over to here where the two of you together and she's out of the picture, or you can focus on the one where she's in the way and that's how it stays, and it just keeps staying that way and it just keeps staying that way. But if you let that go and you focus on yourself and you let the universe know what you want without an attachment to an outcome of it's got to be him or it's got to be that they break up, like I didn't think those thoughts or want, like I just was like, whoever is supposed to be here, whoever is my person, the one that I'm meant to be with, like bring them in, and I'm open to that. And when they're presenting to me, like, you know, give me the signs. And it's, you know, been a long fucking time of all these signs and synchronicities and confirmations and stuff, but I really do feel like we can impact that stuff to be much longer or much shorter. And again, I have this sense too that it's like, there's more than one reality playing out here. It's like there's his version of an event and my version of an event and her version of an event, and then somewhere in the middle of all that is like this interactive world that is like we can shape and bend, and whoever the fucking person is, it's like got like the most, like, you've seen how people are in the world. Some people are very like easily influenced, and some people are very easily like not influenced. So don't let that shit influence you. Go straight, lead your way, ask spirit for the directions and the guidance and the confirmation of like, if that motherfucker's supposed to be with me, then like, okay, then I'm gonna go focus on myself and being open and receptive to whatever's meant to be will be, whoever's gonna be will be, and I'm gonna be healed and whole and aligned. And right now, if I'm feeling resentful and sad and angry and triggered at this person, then I'm not in that place. And if I'm not in that place, then he can't show up either way. So let me go work on that. Go get healed and balanced and clear off all that like bleh, that jealousy, because that's not a good look on anybody. You know, when we feel that way, it's like it makes us act a certain way. It makes us feel less than. We can get a little vindictive, or we can get like stupid about shit. We may like pretend something that's not true, or portray something that's not really you. You know, we can act up, or we can just do stupid shit we would never do. And it's like, it's usually fucking obvious to people, or I've been able to see that within people, like when they're just triggered and acting out, but not everybody sees that. And if you act up when you're in that place and other people see that, they may not know how to take that. And then that starts impacting your other fucking world, you know, the one that doesn't include him and her. So try to detach from that. Don't look at it anymore. Don't engage in that. And when you write affirmations about like, I'm in union, I'm in divine union, say, I'm in divine union with a divine masculine who is meant for me, who is showing up for me, who is in love with me, who cares about me, who's not going to betray me, and who's going to prove to me every day that like, I don't have to worry about that shit. Like he did say, he's got nothing to worry about, but obviously if he's with another person right now, you would be worried about that. So I think take the advice of don't have anything to worry about. And as soon as you take that advice, you may notice that the physical reality becomes a manifestation of that, of I didn't have to worry about her. And as soon as I stopped worrying about her, she fucking disappeared. And even if you don't think you're worrying about her consciously, subconsciously, you most likely are, because that's just human condition. You're going to be triggered by her. You're going to be jealous. She's with the guy that you obviously care about or were betrayed about. There's going to be something in there, animosity, just something deep down. My mind won't stop racing, thinking thoughts of you. The silence in my house is deafening too. So he may not even be spending a lot of time with her. And he's like, I've been foolish and careless with your heart and my own. So he's messed himself up by doing this. Like he probably knows like he was an idiot. And he's like, I always get what I want. So it's like he may have felt like with you, if you are too strong, or you know, maybe he was intimidated, or he felt like you were gonna do something to him. He felt like he'd do it to you first or whatever. Yeah, expectations. I can't meet your high expectations. I already failed. I feel like this is him putting high expectations on himself surrounding you. So he went with the easier choice. He went with the one that's like not as intimidating. That's what they like. They'll say like if you're an intelligent woman, they usually go with the dumber woman. If you're a strong woman, they go with the weaker woman. Because a man wants to be, most of the time, they want to be the predominantly like the leader. They're the alpha. And if you're too strong or too alpha or too intelligent, you see through their bullshit and you call them out on their bullshit, they most likely at times are going to be like, oh, well, this dumbass over here is a little bit easier to deal with. You've already impressed me, which is a good thing, but at the same time, maybe I'm not impressing myself enough to show up to meet you there. So I need to go work on that. And so this karmic bitch is giving him the confidence he needs to get there. You know, so don't look at her as like a block. Look at her as a stepping stone that he needed to have in order to build himself up to your level. You know, like try to shift it to feed you and support you rather than like take you down into jealousy. Because I really don't think that it's what you may feel like, well, what does she have that I don't, or what does she do that I can't, or what blah 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 blah. Like I've heard like things said to me like, oh, you're the best at this and you're the best at that and you're the blah 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 and the blah blah blah, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you then? Like if it's the best and it's like the greatest and it's all these wonderful things, why do you keep running to other things? And I don't think they even realize it, but I think we all do that. We all intimidate ourselves. We freak ourselves out. Our minds are always racing. You know, we get frustrated. We get upset. We get, oh, no. And then we could watch and stalk and spy from afar and make this story up in our mind about why. why they did this, why, what is so great about her, and then it just keeps that along, because it's just it's the visualization, it's the manifestation, it's the thoughts in your head. It's like, oh, you're telling yourself a whole story about why she's there and blah, 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 and how he did this, and you know, basically each time you're strengthening that situation that you don't like. So instead, strengthen the situation of, the more like I don't look at that and I don't engage in that, the more that's not even going to exist in my reality, and whatever does come and take its place, if it's meant to be him without her, then it will be. But if it's not, then something better is coming in its place that's going to make me forget about that ever even being in my world, or look back at it as like a, oh my god, I can't believe I was so silly to even waste my time there. But yeah, he's definitely looking at you and watching you. So I feel like that's something that you should be aware of. I feel like he does want to come towards you to be calmed down, but like, he feels foolish and stupid, and I'm sure he, should, because of what has probably happened here. But he says, just because I'm silent doesn't mean that I don't care. Listen to my body, listen to my thoughts, and feel my heart. So feel from within and know that you are the only one that can soothe him. He finds very appealing. He feels like a psycho when he doesn't know what's going on with you. So keep that in mind too. When he doesn't know what you're doing, where you are, who you're with, what's going on, that fucking pisses him off. So let him get pissed off. Let him wonder where you are. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When they can't figure out like where you are, who you're with, they start to worry, or maybe I pushed her away too far. That may be what, you start to see that he realizes, oh shit, like I don't want to lose her. But he has no clue what he's doing anymore. So let him miss you, and you go focus on bigger, better things, and clearing out that resentment and that fear. Find your own peace so that you can be his peace. You're welcome. Songs of Starlight. Yes, I agree. Yeah, so, be careful with all of that stuff, but it is hard to it's easier said than done. And believe me, I think it's like degrees, because back in my early time, like I would have been like, let me check on this every fucking day, and this thing and that thing and all these other things, and like make fucking like big thing in my head, and I was like addicted to fucking like social media accounts and just stupid shit that was like, it was just causing huge blocks. Thank you. You're welcome. Hopefully that makes sense. But been seeing Aussie stuff now nonstop, and I've never been to that country. Oh, really? Australia stuff. I have a lot of stuff come from there, like, or people that have come to work with me from there. I've had a lot of like things that I've done from there that are like course related or whatever. I think there's a lady that does like the Nooster rights or something. I think she's there. Then there was the guy who I just did the mind mastery thing with. He's there. Oh, and I'm pretty sure there's other girl that I had stuff from that she does like mini offers or something. I'm pretty sure she has her life there too. But I've been noticing Australia a lot lately too. But it's been regularly. Since I even did the Munay Ki, there was people in Australia who came to do the rights with me. Because I was always posting at 4 a.m. So that's like their normal time of day. Is anybody else here that can talk? This is for the members that are, it's $4.99 a month, and they ask their questions once a month, and then I do their readings for them. But I can see there's 7 people, but it sets that the members are the ones that can comment their question. Does make sense. That's good. It was hard to not look, because that's our natural instinct, is to fucking see shit. Confirm to ourselves that whatever, but it doesn't really usually serve us to know anyways. It's like, why do you want to know that? Like, just let it just be. find out later. Because I knew, I was like, if I go look, because he had called me to connect with me at some point after they had like been together, and I was like, I didn't see it. I missed the message, and then when I did see it, the thing that he said was like, "Oh, I'm working with your brother." So it was like, "Oh, okay." So he's obviously not working with her now because that's what had happened. And then I let him come get a healing session, and I never even asked him, never brought it up, nothing, and then just never knew. But I wanted to go look, many times. But it was also like, do I really want to go through that today of pissing myself off? Because I knew if I went and looked and saw it, it was going to be like, just a pissed off fucking thing. So instead of doing it, I just ignored it. But then later I was like, I think that actually helped. Sometimes it's good to disassociate from reality. Because you create it. Alright. If no one else is up, whatever wants to come through. Okay, hello. I've just been listening to the other readings and sending love to you. Thank you. What will traveling to Australia bring in my life? And can I get a 10 from when would be the best time to travel to Australia? Can I get some? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do Abby's first because she's new within here. And I think I'm going to do Lisa's too because I missed Lisa's the other day and I haven't done it yet. Because anytime I try to, like, do something after the fact, it don't fucking happen. So I'm going to get it in here tonight. And if she doesn't come in, I'll just do 2 things for her. Everybody's been asking about career. And I keep feeling like I should do, like a career type of support thing for people. Because it's, like, what I used to do. And I know I could help people. But I have to talk to the people. Like, they need to speak to me, and I need to speak back to them, and it needs to be in that type of setting. It's like it could be a group, like a small group of people, where it's like 4 people get, like, because there's a fucking plethora of shit up here. But the problem with me is I've got, like, like, if I could take all of the things that I know how to do to make money and just do them all, it would be amazing, because I would be, like, totally fucking set for fucking life. But I can't do that. Like, I'm like the one that gives the other people the answers or the directions to go do it. I'm like, okay, I just need like a whole mess of people to, you go do this one and you go do that one and you go do this one. But there's so many new ways of making money too, like tons of fucking ways. And it's like, overloaded with all the ways to do to it. And I'm like, there's so many ways, man. I was telling my sister some of them last night because I'm like, hey, we can do this and that. And she's like, yeah, it sounds easy enough. And I'm like, yeah, but I need you to, like, help me. Get me over the lump. I need a body double. When you have ADHD, they say just having a human body there is like a fucking just be there. Like, I'll do it all if you just be there. My dad has it too, but it's hard because it's like sometimes I don't want anybody to be there. I just want to be left alone. But then when I need somebody to be there, I need them to be there. It's like, fucking AI is my answer. And make me a fake being that helps me. Get my sister to help with it. Can you make me another me, please? It's on the same schedule, the same frequency, the same mood, and all of that all the time. So we want to nap, we nap. When we want to work, we work. We want to go out, we go out. Alright, it says, things are coming together now, alignment. You excite me in ways I never knew existed in the same colors for Abby. So this is like orange, sacral energies. You're going to sleep now. Thank you for everything. Please save this life. I will. Thank you. Have a good night. And yeah, I think you were the one that got charged. Don't forget, you can, it's probably just a click of a button, within the settings. So, Abby says, I'm lost without you, emptiness. And then I'm so proud of your dreams. So, feel like your person may be feeling abandoned at this time. And they're like, please don't give up. Let me back in. They could be feeling insecurities. You excite them in ways and like they want things to come together. They're never going to let go. I want you back in my life. So I do feel like a sense of like this person's missing you. I can't stop thinking about you touching me fantasies. Dive into the depths with me, deep emotional changes. Like, I remember when you came and you had just come home or whatever, and the thing that you said to me about, like, the way things were different with stuff, items and things, that stood out to me as, like, pretty big, pretty significant, especially because I just know how a lot of people are, and that's not usually, like, a normal fucking thing. Like, oh yeah, this person particularly, I'm gonna boop, 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 put these things up over here. I feel like in some ways it may have even kind of done it intentionally, knowing that somebody particular was going to see, but also thinking in the sense of, like, him knowing you, like, he knows who you are, you know what I mean, like, he knows you, and he knows how you are, how you were, and how things are. So it's probably hard for him to fucking verbalize just as much as it is for you, because I know that's, like, one of my main things is, like, actually speaking up. And I know you have a lot of that too. It's like sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We just assume, like, really badly about things, or we don't see, like, those little things, those vulnerable expressions or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm going to be really vulnerable and express myself. Think about yourself. Like, if you knew he was coming to see you and you did that, you had all that stuff that you didn't know about, like, you didn't show him, you never told him any of it, but then all of a sudden, like, all these years later, they're all over the place, like, around, like, you know, obviously things that you're gonna see. I feel like in a way it was like letting you know, but I feel like there's also, like, a fear there, or a block there. It's like he wants to be that way, he wants to be vulnerable, he wants to be authentic, he wants to tell you more, or be able to give you or open up more. Because the truth is, I love you, and this is teaching our lessons, which equals blessings, and this time apart has taught him a lot. But I feel like he's also nervous, he's also maybe unsure at times, and I think the uncertainty of the unsure at times isn't necessarily he's unsure about you, or he doesn't want you, or he's not sure if I want to be with you, or that I like you. It's maybe that he's not sure that you like him back, or that you want to be, you know, however, there's some sort of intimidated energy. He could even just be intimidated at the idea of, like, well, what if we try and then we fuck it up and then we can't be friends at all, or, like, it gets really bad, or there's something there that I feel like is just blocked, and it's probably just needs time anyways. Like, obviously if it was meant to have come together by now, it would have come together already and been there. But I think over time he does want to be able to open up and talk to you and be vulnerable and express himself more. He wants to keep you safe and warm. He wants to follow you and surrender into it. He says, you've brightened my path. You've illuminated things. I admire everything about you. I'm amazed by your beauty. I'm tired of dancing alone. I know we can do it with wholeness, but I can't find the fucking right words. And I feel like it's because he doesn't even know the right words right now. It's like he's still figuring shit out on his own. I mean, he's like, would you say yes? Wifey Matilda's are both, like, down on one knee asking. So he may be trying to figure his shit out for this type of thing. Like, where do I want this to be? Maybe knows on, like, inside of himself, like, he really feels like this would be you, or that he would want it to be you, but he needs to, like, figure some shit out first. And he wants to express himself to you. But there's been betrayals, and there's been things, and he's so mad at himself for the things that he's said and done, and shit that's happened. But again, those lessons cause blessings in the end. It's like, we figure shit out. I want you back in my life. The truth is that I fucking love you. Don't change a thing about you. You know, we've had confusion, but we've grown. And I want forever with you. And this feels like torture. So I feel like he may have a tendency to torture himself the way that we all do. You know, think about how you can torture yourself with thoughts and fears and doubts and I don't know. I think he does the same thing. 10-10. Yeah, dive into the depths with me. So I feel like he wants to go deeper. He's mad at himself that he hasn't already. Wants to be vulnerable. Very much confirming. Loyal companionship. My love is unconditional. But he is mad at himself for the way that maybe things went already, or for just not opening up and telling you. yeah, I don't understand what you see in me. So he also feels like he's not like, that's a big fucking problem with people, is like they don't feel worthy of these other people in their lives, or they don't feel good enough, or like, I fucked up, I want to touch you, I like you, you're awesome sauce, but like, I fucked it up, so I don't deserve you. He could be just keeping a lot of guilt. I've been working on checking in with my body instead of my thoughts. Certainly a practice for me. Yeah. um yeah, you have what I want. So that, wants and needs are different. And it's actually good that he doesn't say like need, because need, when somebody needs you, that's codependent. That's like toxic. I need you. It's not that I want you, it's that I fucking need you. We can want people and not need people, and be more healthy about it. Because once we start needing them, we start like, letting shit go, or being a certain way. It's like, oh, it's fine, you can treat me like a piece of shit, and that, whatever, because I need you. And if I need you, I need all of like what you do, even if it's bad. And then the thoughts in the body, me doing more of that stuff, like to come into my body, just like the NLP stuff, those little exercises, those have been helpful. The one with the silver room, I posted on the Divine Essentials channel. It's like standing in a silver room, and you put a piece of paper up for every bad negative thing, and a piece of paper like all around you. It's just like hanging up a piece of paper in this big silver dome room, and then have a fire in the center of the room, and you start pulling down the papers that are all negative and blocked and bleh, and they like connected to the nastiness and the pains and the hurts and all of that, and like pay attention to the pains and the hurts and the things, or the discomfort or the tension or whatever the fuck it is, wherever it is. And usually you start to notice it, and you can start yawning and releasing. I started crying, but I had started that off like standing all weird because my feet hurt so bad, and by the end I was standing flat on my feet and just normal. But we did that one, and the other one where it was like, you take, where like, just if you have any discomfort, or you have any anxiety, you have anything inside of your body that doesn't feel good. I know you hear the hip thing all the time, like, assign a color to it. Like, see that as an energy expression, and give it a color. Just don't matter what color, just take note of the color, and then gather all of it and double check, because it likes to hide, and then take it and put it up here, and it's going to spin on its own, and just notice which way it's spinning, and then really, 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 really try as hard as you fucking can to like physically do this with your hands, like spin it the other way. And when it finally takes on its own fucking thing and it's spinning, it's like, it's got a whole new direction, a whole new speed, a whole new thing. It's not going back to the way it was ever again. That's when we slam it back in, and it's like it shifts it. And if you do that every day, surrounding these types of things, you get into the practice of transmuting whatever it is. If you do it with the room, it's like all the things that are blocking us. The thing that I did with arrows and Psyche it's literally just like simple little thing, but it was so huge and so mind-blowing, that how fucking simple it was, because it was such a stupid thing that was like, it's not even my control. I had no control of that. But I can't tell my 4-year-old self that, because 4-year-old self was like, oh, I'm a bad person, and then got cemented in every fucking time I ever touched alcohol from then on. So, but now that that's gone, I've seen all these other things change. So with that one, it was basically like allowing yourself to just like go back to the last time that something like happened. And then when I got there, it was like, are you sure this is the first time that it happened? And go further back and go further back, because a lot of times the first ones before were even 10, but I had started at 19, and then I went back to like 13, and then I went back a little bit further, and then I found the youngest one and was like, oh, okay. And we just reprogrammed it. And it's the same concept as theta healing with what's her name, Vienna something, I think is her name. She has theta healing as her thing. She literally, I've seen the process, because I've been there for people doing like the whole healing course, and the person will come in and they're like, we're going to do muscle testing, and stand with their things apart, stand with your hips length apart, say yes, you lean forward on a yes. Say no, you lean forward on a back. If for some reason you do the opposite, your ass is backwards, you got an imbalance that you need to fix. And the way we fix it, creator of all that there is, please balance this person normal, boop, boop, okay? And then you say, show me yes, and they usually are normal by then. And then we ask questions of like, what is your struggle around? Like, where is your problem? Whether it's money or love or whatever. So then we ask those questions, those muscle testing, like, is this a belief or that a belief? And when we get to the belief, the person sits down across from the practitioner and they hold hands, and the practitioner goes up to the creator and is like, creator of all that there is, I want to reprogram this belief, cleanse, clear, release, and take out whatever programming, whatever belief system is here and replace it with this, and then give them a new one. And just through that like process of trusting and giving over, discovering, rewriting, it helps people, and they keep going and they keep going. Some people have quit smoking with it. Some people have lost fucking thousands of pounds with it. Some people, overcome huge obstacles. But it's finding the way that works for you, that is the best way. The somatic stuff, like, physically doing stuff. Some people need meditation where they lay down. Some people need Reiki healing where somebody's actually touching them. But there's a lot. Today I did a meditation that helped I've been working with my body instead of I did a meditation that had me put my hand on the spot that hurt and the other on a spot that felt good, and to feel like the contrast and then send love. Then I was able to redirect and move and release the energy from there. That's perfect. And that's what, when I tell people to do mirror work, that same concept for self-love, like, what is the thing that you love about yourself? Like, if you stand in front of the mirror naked when you get out of the shower, and there's probably body parts that are harder to love than other ones, just out of our conditioning or our fears or our doubts or whatever. It's like, find the thing that you fucking love about yourself. Like, thank God I have that, at least I've got that thing. So whatever that is for you, maintain, like, look at it, connect with it, like that appreciation, that love, that gratitude, and then travel that down to like the fucking whatever the thing is, or over to the thing, up to the thing. I know women have like a thing with their thighs or their ass or cellulite or a dimple or a pimple or a fucking stretch mark or blah, 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 blah. There's so many things. But if you can take the love or the appreciation of the things that we like the most, transfer that energy, you literally will physically change your body. I've literally changed my body in drastic ways in short amounts of time with the power of attraction. When I wanted to lose weight, I imagined weight going down the drain when I was in the shower. I took a bath one night and I lit a candle, and as the wax was melting off the candle, it was like, imagine it wax melting off of me body. When I stood on the scale, I envisioned the scale going down. Like, I was at I think I was at 155 when I started. And then I was like down to like 102 pretty quickly. So be careful, because you can manifest stuff that you don't want to happen too. You get sick, or you lose way too much weight, or it gets hard to put it back on once you get down there. But yeah, it's pretty easy to do these things when we like tap into the right thing to do, or the right feeling. I wanted you the moment I saw you. So just know he does have loyal companionship for you, his unconditional love for you. He does want to be authentic and tell you nobody could ever take your place. I watched a little bit of the thing the other day from the Samhain time, just to see if I could see any of the stuff in the background from the different view on the Zoom, because Zoom was like, you're full of stuff, you got to delete it. And I'm like, all right. So it was like that night with the little boop boop boops, and your sister was there. I can't remember. Sassy. You make my temperature rise, and it's fiery, but it reminded me of the sassy. Yeah, if I want to be sassy, I be sassy. Do you remember the sassy? I was like, be like a grandma, a sassy grandma. He says it's time to unite and work together, with reconciliation. I promise I'll never let go. And he's definitely mad at himself. I feel like he's mad at that he hasn't fucking just told you or like maybe he feels like I was so stupid, I shouldn't have just been so subtle. Did you even say anything about all of this? I think you didn't. I think if I remember right, you didn't mention much, or maybe like one or two things about the stuff that he had up. Because I remember being like struck by it and thinking, I'm like, oh man, I hope it wasn't like misunderstood or like, and I think it was like both misunderstood. I've been focused on myself and not really thinking too much about love outside of I know it's coming when it's right. Yeah, sassy granny, hello. You know, that's when shit happens. Like when you're not paying attention, when you're not looking, when you're feeling confident, when you are like, because if you're sitting here like, oh, I wonder and I think and I overanalyze and I, you know, get like caught up in my head about it and I feel anxious or I feel like expectant or I want or I need or whatever, it blocks it. But when you're in that energy, it doesn't. Like I was talking to Paloma about the third party thing, and like, you know, if I sit around and focus on the third party's gonna be there longer. But if I focus on myself and my own life, it's like, oh, I don't even know when that person left, but okay. And it probably even just the perceiving of things, it's gonna feel longer if we keep looking at something that's like in the way or we perceive as an issue or makes us feel, you know, shitty about stuff. But it's like usually like the other day, like I'm like when I'm doing stuff that's like for specific purposes, other stuff comes to confirm it all. It's like you get the confirmations or something will manifest. Even like me looking at the jobs on just like regular jobs, it's like, oh, shamanic, blah blah blah. I don't want. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm already doing that. I don't want to go pay or go here and get paid from you guys when I can just do it myself. But it's like the same. I don't know. It's like, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I said his place felt homey, and I liked all the things he had. Okay, but and you said that was like the first time you've ever noticed that. Like he's never had that before. Like. You didn't even know he had them or something, right? Like he had cards from his birthdays or he had something up that you gave him specifically. Was there anybody else's up that had been up or like, or it was just yours? Was it like a shrine of your stuff? He's like, I like your stuff. This is like kind of randomly about me. Stuff, yeah, 5 years ago. That's a long time. I feel like I feel like it was on purpose. Like there was more to it. Maybe it made him insecure. But I don't know. We have a tendency to overlook that type of stuff. Like some people make a huge deal out of it. Some people would be like, it's nothing. It's just whatever. But if it's stuff that he had for 5 years that you didn't see him, you know, display before, I feel like there was more to it than that. I don't know exactly what, but I just feel like there was something to it. Why did he put that? I don't know how to fix the pain in my heart. Broken. I said, why did he put those up? Fear. Love scares me because it has scarred me. So he's had his heart broken. He's like, I can't get my mind off of you. I'm afraid that you're not going to want me if you see the truth. I feel like this may be where he's at. Like maybe he's afraid of the darkness that he's created around himself by things that have happened. So he feels, you know, insecure. I hate not knowing what's going on with you. Could have denial about things too, or just like wish that things are different. I think he has a lot of self-hate too, or just like a lot of frustration with himself. Like he's like, I'm so mad at myself. But he wants freedom from that. yeah, riddled with guilt and shame. So maybe some of it was that, like, I do like you, I do love you, I do care about you. See all this stuff that I've saved from you. It's almost like he was trying to show you in a way that was like, not like over the top, but also not like so subtle that it's not seen at all. He says, thank you for caring when no one else did. I think you've helped him before too. And that things aren't always as they appear, sabotage. So sometimes you may look at things and look at them and not make them out to be what they are because of self-sabotage on your side, but also he may self-sabotage on his side based off of his own bullshit that he's got going on. So I can't keep it together, and I know, like, he could be like, I've already screwed this up, like, it's too late, you know, I'm isolated, nobody cares, like I did this to myself, I shouldn't have, blah, blah, blah. I'm haunted by the pain of my own inner darkness and the past and the bullshit. I want to make you smile again. I want to make you happy. And I have a beautiful surprise planned for you. But I'm afraid of opening my heart up and you being like, fuck you, dude. And making me feel more like, blah-blah. Because of hostilities or just him feeling guilty. I feel like his guilt is weighing on him more than, like, I think you don't even really have any animosity or you know, maybe you still hang on to stuff from what happened, but I don't think, not to the degree that he may feel like it weighs on stuff. Yeah. Haunted by the past, my own darkness. Until death do us part isn't enough, so you were there for him at a time that he needed somebody. You make me feel calm and free. You've tamed him some way, but he's still full of hate for himself, and that's why I think he sabotages things and he feels like kind of desperate about stuff, but there's a loyalty that's existing there. He does want your forgiveness, but he doesn't know what to do about it or how to kind of go about it. I think he gets uncomfortable too, because I think he, like, you've said stuff, you've made offers or presented things to him, but I feel like the way that it's kind of been done between you guys is it's like left a lot of space or left a lot of unsaid stuff too. I know we can have a tendency of thinking like, oh, but I was wicked vulnerable and open and I put it all out there. And you could think that and say that and tell me that about like what, and then if you read me word for word what you wrote, it may not be anything, like I'd be like, really? Just based off of how I've seen people think about those things or say about those things. We think that we're being wicked transparent and open and vulnerable and like wicked emotionally expressive, but like if somebody else looks at it, they're like, dude, what the fuck is, no. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to make it like, I'm not laughing at you or making fun of you. I just know, I know myself, and I know you have a lot of those similar things that I have, which it's like, we just naturally like, it could be like a fucking riddle. He'd be like, what? Like, I like you, but I don't know. The big fucking thing. This reading also resonates. My painting, LOL, and my phone is at 44%. Something. Oh wow. Oh shit. What was the painting of? He had a few cards from others, but those he had already been up. Most of the things that weren't there before were from me. Yeah, I feel like that was something, because it, like, obviously it was at least showing that like there's nobody around that like is gonna be complaining about those being there, because if it was like a girlfriend in the mix, I don't think another girlfriend's shit from like 5 years ago being hung up around the house would go over well. Like somebody be like, who's Abby, you know? Yeah, we have our filters, we have our way of being like, oh yeah, I know I was so transparent. Because, like, even I think back to, like, things that I said when I felt like, oh my god, I was so stupid, I was so over the top. Because when I first reconnected, 6 years ago, I did say things or, like, try to be expressively open, but it was through text. And it was like, I'm sorry that I don't know how to talk to you when I'm near you, blah, blah, blah. But none of it was, like, normal. None of it was normal to begin with. And none of it had been normal at all, like, from then till now. But I think, like, looking back in a different perspective, just at, like, the different time spans of when I felt like I was hardcore chasing, and then I'm like, but wait, I never even fucking reached out to him. He always reached out to me to initiate, like, seeing each other, me going there. All the other times, it's just me there, like, waiting. and thinking that I'm chasing. And then when that wasn't the case anymore, and I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't all that bad. It's not like I was like hounding the man, like texting him every day, 20 fucking times a day. Like, he probably would have blocked me if I did. But we can build it up as if we're like way more, or we've done way more than we feel we did. Like when we did the group thing, remember there was a girl in there that was like, oh, Baba, she felt like she had reached out all these times, but it was like, dude, that was 2 years ago. That was 6 months ago. Like, it's been a fucking big period of time. Like, you should probably try, because like we could build up in our head like there's been times I miss a message. I don't even know the message is there. I didn't even see the fucking thing. But like, if that person never reached out again, then who knows how long it would have gone before I fucking noticed. And we have to keep that in mind too. Like sometimes people don't see things. Sometimes people see things and they see it through their filter. Sometimes people don't know what the hell we mean or where we're coming from or whatever. But there's a lot of that stuff. My dad. My painting of the flowers in the vase with the bones. Oh, nice. Yeah. So, just know, like, there may be something around that, and I'm not saying like call him up and be like blah 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 blah, but just know that like there is something there. He may need help. Yeah, he's like, I can't keep it together. I feel irresponsible. I need help. My life is boring. Maybe just check in on him, and see how he is. Doesn't have to be, I don't know, do what you feel is right. But I feel like you inspire my mind and you fill me with light, and he's fucking haunted by the dark. He's in remorse. I know I messed up and it's killing me, so whatever you got, I made a fool of myself, foolish. So if you feel, maybe whatever you feel guided to do about it, maybe the best bet is to just keep focusing on yourself, and then, yeah, look, I know what I want. I can't stop until I have it. Love. I'm so deeply madly in love with you. So if this is the truth, he will figure it out. Your light will guide him back to you, because he'll be feeling sad and miserable. He doesn't want to live with that mask on. Nothing matters anymore. I give up. Depression, and he knows he's gonna have to make a choice of what to do there for that. So maybe just keep being, your best self, focusing on yourself, healing yourself, being passionate in your own life, independent in your own life, and know that, like, he has regrets and fears and doubts and all of that. So if he does show up to you and he feels a little weird or whatever, don't overlook stuff or dismiss stuff as like, oh no, he's like, he don't care, or it's like not that, or it's no big deal that he just hung those things up on the wall. Like, let the softness of it be there. Sometimes we're like, we block all the softness of shit because we've been hurt. We don't want to be hurt again. So we're like, I'm not going to look at that as a soft, tender moment because that could fucking get me hurt. So I'm going to block it and be like, oh, that's no big deal. Empathy. Try to empathize and feel from his perspective. How you're testing out your feeling instead of thinking. Try to test out his feeling instead of thinking. He's like, I can't seem to do what's right, and then nervous, and my anxiety is worse than ever before. I'm constantly worried and insecure. So maybe don't stay there too long. If you feel him, just kind of sense it. And, oh, okay, that's how he's feeling. And be mindful of that too, because sometimes you may get wrapped up in his feelings that are not your feelings, and you need to be like, wait, that's why I feel that way? Let me block that shit off, and not in a negative, mean way, but just a way that's like, you handle your shit, I'll handle mine. Because I got enough of it on my own. I don't need to feel your weight. Getting this job and saving up so I can get a place interview on the 16th. Nice. I thought it was nice and sweet, and it made me feel good because it felt like that was something I wanted for a long time, to not feel hidden by him. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Like there's a weirdness around this shit, especially if there's families involved that don't like you or whatever, or just the way that things play out, like with the ghosting and the disappearing. Can we forgive and forget? I think he's mad at himself for that, so he may be trying to like make steps towards fixing that. Like, I swear I didn't mean it. I swear I didn't do it. I feel like it's more like, I swear I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to, like, I did do those things that made you feel that way, but I didn't do it with the intent of doing that. I didn't know.
And now that I have empathy, or now that I'm looking back in reflection or realizing how I've been, you know, I feel worse about my choices every day because now I see, oh, fuck, like I should have probably have handled it or approached it in a better way. There's nothing I can do about it right now, so I'm limited. So the best I got is like hanging up those things and letting you see that you are important to me, and like I'm, you know, not gonna hide you. You have a spot on my wall. Scarily accurate for me as well. Damn, I guess we're all connected somehow. Yeah, I believe that too. Um, for the work thing, I have study. It says research, reading, and education can help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So, we're, you know, maybe just doing some like note taking or something, or just like preparing yourself in some way, or even just preparing yourself about yourself. Like, what are your strengths? What are your best things? You said you have an interview, so I think they have like mock interview things, or like fake questions that we can interview ourselves with, like on I don't know, like ask.com or one of those things. It's like there's literally all that shit. You know, it's like you could do like a practice run, or even just like practice run on who you are, like where you've been, your credentials, like what's your strengths. That way when you sit down and they ask you a question, you're not like I was like which a lot of us do, because we get like I do it all the time when I go live, or when I have a video recording. It's like I know all the fucking names of the crystals and all these special fucking things about them, but then when I hit that button, it's like empty. They all go away. So maybe have like a list too. Maybe write down some of the stuff that you know would be like dates, or good answers, or good, like if they're gonna ask you for a reference, have the person and the name already prepared. You know, just be on top of it. Even have like a card. Oh yeah, I have a card for that. Here you go. Oh yeah, I have this. Just be like, I'm on it. I already prepared for all of it. I knew what you wanted. You got notes going good. Comment question. Awesome, so I see you already know. All drawn to the readings when we need them. Usually others' readings resonate for me too if I catch them. I feel like that's just how that's why I would be like, it doesn't fucking matter about the card. Picking a card. I'm like, do you resonate with me? Then pick me. That's what would bother me about it, because it's like, I get that there'll maybe be one pile that's more stronger than another, but at the end of the day, if you resonate with the reader, shouldn't matter if they're doing a 50-minute one pile or 3 separate piles. Your messages are in there. Maybe not all of them, maybe special ones that really stick out, but it's the reader more than it is the pile. And that's why I would be like, yeah. All right, let me go back up here and see what she said. All right, I'm gonna say this, okay? I say this like all the time, and I get people asking for their fucking time all the time. Stop fucking asking about time. If you keep asking about time, you ask me to determine your time, I can give you any fucking time. I can be like 20 years, and what are you gonna do with that? You're gonna take that, and you're gonna walk out of here and say, yeah, it's gonna be 20 years? Or are you gonna say, no, fuck that, I don't wanna wait 20 years. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna create my own time. I'm going to make it be mine, because I'm the creator of my reality. So when I ask somebody else for when I ask the universe, don't do that. Just fucking go out there and create it. It's now. When do you want it to be? When you want it to be, that's when it should be. Yesterday came, tomorrow will too. It's time to decide what will you do. So you make the plan. You are the creator. You are the manifester. You can determine the time. There's other people in the world with free will, so we can't, we can't fuck up their time too much. So it's like, it's coming together in love. It's like, yeah, you can want to come together in love tomorrow. Realistically, if they're in another relationship, they're married, they're gonna go through a divorce and all that shit, then it's probably not gonna happen tomorrow. But if it's like something like, I want to move to this place, and I want to have a career over there, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, you can come up with a realistic thing in your mind, and you can make it happen. But if you come and ask for the time, you're putting that in somebody else's hands. You're letting somebody else be the one that's creating your reality, and you follow along with it. And then what if it doesn't happen? It's like, we have to be the ones that realize that we make that decision, nobody else. And then Impatience, they will be back just like that. It's like when we sit around impatiently focused on something, I want that to happen, I want that to happen, I want them to come back, I want them to come back, I want them to come back, I want them to do something, I want them to do. As soon as we stop doing that is when they fucking do it. This is impatience. As soon as that impatience is gone, that resistance is gone, because we're like, oh, fuck it, I don't care. And then they're like, hello, what's up? And it happens all the time. It happens so often, because we are in an infinite strength and abundance to create. We have everything we need. We just need to be receptive and nurturing to that creation. We got to know what we want, say, okay, it's time for change. It's not going to be strange. As long as I'm like in alignment in my head and everything, and I'm like realistic about it, like, all right, I live here, I need to get this much money put together, I need to have this type of opportunity. Now, I could sit here and say, like, I want to move to Australia in 6 months, and I need to, like, save my money and do all that stuff. But if in those 6 months I don't take any of the fucking action steps that lead to that, then it's not going to happen. So it won't matter how much I think about it or want it. They're not going to send a fucking plane over, like, oh, here you go, just because I thought about it. But what could happen is if I think about it positively and I affirm, I am moving to Australia in 6 months, and I'm, planning that, feeling that, projecting that, creating that, visualizing that, taking the action steps of, like, how much are tickets over there? How much is a place to rent over there? What type of jobs do they have over there? What are the opportunities over there? Like, is there anybody over here that, like, wants to go with me and take some of the burden off of it, and blah, 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 blah. And then go to places and think about stuff that you do and who you're dealing with. It's like decades will come and go if you don't choose to grow. So if you don't choose to make those choices yourself, you don't choose that like, this is when, then it's just going to be a big joke. You'll be like, is this a joke or is this a play? Because that's what you're going to say. It's going to be like April Fool's Day, because you're going to keep fooling yourself. Because Spirit could sit here and tell you, oh, yeah, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be, in a couple of days. It's going to be in 6 months. Blah, blah, blah. But if you don't align to that, or you don't do any of the stuff that would be needed for that to happen, then it's not going to happen. And then you're going to be like, oh, what the fuck? 6 months has come and gone. I haven't gone over there. But it would have been your fault for not doing anything. This is any day now, expect to be wowed. So that's part of it too. We got to expect it. Expect that good things are coming. Shift our focus. It says, do you not see you are already free? Start applauding yourself. Like go on vacation. Maybe take a trip over there. Like, what feels right for you? What makes it? Approach logic creatively. So we have our left brain and our right brain. We have the logic brain and the creative brain. Get creative. Make some fucking vision boards. Make some ideas. Make some affirmations. Do some things around it that's, like, energetically supporting it. Visually, like visualizing, meditating, affirming, attracting, positive, all that shit. But that's not enough in this world, because we live in the 3D world and we live in a fucking logical land where it's like, well, logically, if I want to move there, I gotta do some things. I gotta explore and look it out. I gotta make my foundation with the divine alignment of my angelic support. So I'm gonna ask the angels to support me in making that, and I'm gonna be open and receptive to it. I'm gonna create and set my life on fire, and I'm gonna inspire, and I'm going to be the artist of my life. And so I'm going to embrace the endings that need to happen in order for that new beginning to happen. And I'm going to shift into that timeline, so that manifestation of that new reality, that wholeness and that completion of that experience that I would like to have can happen. And they're saying, in divine time, things will align. So don't even put, like, a set date on it. Just, especially in the beginning steps where you're not really sure, just research. We have Google. We have all these, like YouTube. Now fucking TikTok is a bigger search engine than Google. So that's pretty fucking big. Like, anywhere you want to go and learn anything, there's other people out there that have already done it, they figured it out, they know how to do it the best ways. So just look for it and guide yourself in the way that makes sense for you. Like, I like how that person did it. They took it in these stages, or they approached it in that way. They sold their stuff, or they met other people who were going there at the same time, or they, whatever it is. But it's up for you to decide when. And it's up for you to do the steps that determine when. They say, stop and look around. All you want will be found. So you have everything you need right now to go. People block themselves by thinking it's a bigger thing than it is. Like, oh, but I gotta, like, can you get on a plane right now and go over there? Of course you can. Could you go live over there right now? Probably. But do you want to save up money and have, like, a little bit of a plan first? Most likely. So you determine that. But if you wanted to just go backpacking over there, you could. You could probably fucking rent, like, a thing from people. Like people rent rooms, just a room in their house for, like, $50 a week or something. or a hostel or whatever. But again, research, you're a woman, you don't want to be trafficked away. So, you know, keep those things in mind. Where are the safe places for me to go? Is there like somebody over there that I could get connected to? Like, I know a woman over there who did the Munay Ki with me. I trust her. I know she's a good lady. She's not going to be like an asshole. Like, you know what I mean? I could ask her, like, if somebody wanted to move over there, what would you tell them? You know, but those are the types of things that you're gonna have to like figure out and explore and look for those things. And when you see those opportunities, take them. Don't be like, oh, no, no, no. But if you do find that you do that to yourself, it's probably a belief that's like, I'm not worthy of that. Do you not see you're already free? So in a month's time, you're going to see the light shine. So you're going to be like realizing, like, I have that freedom. I could go right now. I could be there tomorrow. I could take a plane over, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's a book that I could get too that will probably tell me how to get over it. There's books now that will tell you how to go over there for fucking free. Like, if you want to become like a traveling fucking influencer, if you do it the right way and you like approach it the right way and, you know, invest into it, figure all that shit out, you could go travel over there and like probably not do it for free, but you do it in a way that you save a lot. So they're saying saving. A few months away will be the big day. So if you start preparing now, looking into that, how could I, you know, travel? Well, you see all these people travel all over the place, and they just like, they stay at a hotel, they give the hotel a review, they post about it. People start somewhere with that. Like, it's not like an overnight thing, but if you know, are inspired by that or like that idea, then you could explore that, or whatever other idea that you like, you know, that sparks something in you. Dreams will reveal what is true and who is real. So expect the upgrade from today. This whole next decade is an upgrade time. You're going up, you're going up, you're going up. Tomorrow is another day. Try again another way. What are you fucking waiting for? The opportunity is right there for you now. But if you count minutes, it's gonna up the digits. So it's like time will grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. You'll keep coming up with more fucking things that you gotta do. You know, it's like yesterday came, tomorrow will too. Decide what you will do and then go. Maybe you want to have a vacation there first and then go move there. That would make sense if you've never been there. You know, I wouldn't go move to a place I've never been. I might be like, I'm going to take a fucking like 3-week vacation and see if I even like it there. And if I do, then I'll go over there and stay. Or maybe I'll go on a vacation that turns into me staying if things fall into place, because when I trust the synchronicity and the guides in spirit, they're going to know. Like, if I walk over there and I'm like, oh my God, I love it here, I don't want to leave, you could have the opportunities given to you while you're there that make it so that you don't have to come home. Like, anytime I went to Florida with my ex, like, we never wanted to leave. Like, we never wanted to come home. So we would always end up manifesting or, like, doing something that would make it so we didn't have to leave for, like, another week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 weeks or however fucking long that we wanted to stay. But it was like, when, you know, when one person wants it, you can make it happen. When 2 people want it, it's, like, even more powerful, because it's like, now we're in cahoots. Like, let's make it happen. But if you have fears or doubts or insecurities, you want to realize those and change those mindsets. Like, well, but maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I won't be able to save enough, or maybe I won't find my way, or maybe like blah, blah, blah. There's enough maybes and no's and all of that shit, but it's time to change that shit in order for that to go away. And they're saying it could be seconds if you count your blessings. So instead of focus on the fears that I don't knows, or I need somebody else to give me like the exact details or how or when and all of that, just focus on gratitude of, I'm grateful that that place even exists, that I can go there. I'm grateful that there's opportunities out there for me to go for free. I'm grateful that, like, I know these concepts about affirming and attracting and manifesting, and I'm grateful that I can do whatever I want. And give it a week. Don't become weak. You know, let yourself figure it out. Wait for those opportunities to present themselves. When you start affirming and attracting, putting your little vision boards up and, you know, waiting for the right opportunity to present to you of, like, that thing that I know. They're like, relax and know you have time. So it's not going to happen overnight, but also don't limit yourself by getting a set date. You know, just start planning and you creating. You come up with the date. You come up with the plan. That way it's not like, it's not something that can be like, oh man, it didn't happen. And it's not something that's told to you, because you get to be the empowered creator of what you do and when you do it and how you do it. Let's see. My last interview, I gave everyone their own binders with my resume and action plan and examples of training materials I developed. Nice. Well, then I guess you've got it all done then. Um, you got a point about the time frame. I'd rather create my reality. Research big time. Different customs and culture. Oh my fucking god. Yes, the travel influencer hits big time. Wow. And a vacation will be good first. Yeah. So make that be the first thing that you're manifesting. And travel influencers, they're going on their travel, not going to live. They're traveling. They're vacationing. So look into that world, like the vacation world. Look into the world of like marketing. What do you call it? What is that place? The fucking place that people rent their shit out. Like oh my god, I know you know what I mean. Like that, like it's not like a hotel. Like everybody does this now. They're like, oh yeah, that house or that room or that thing. It's like they just rent that, and it's much cheaper, and it's you know, huge. It's worldwide. Everybody knows about it, but you could use that for your advantage. You know, like, oh, I will help you to be seen. Like if somebody's got a nice, beautiful place with a pool and a ba ba ba, and you go and you stay. When you start getting followers, like because I have 10,000 followers, like technically I can charge like $200 per post, or I can charge like $50 per story. It depends on what it is, who you are, what they're doing. But if you go out there in that niche and you build that following with that thing, you can present yourself to other people like, hey, let me come stay there for a discount, and I will post you to my story, to my thing about this, and I've got this many people who are going to see it, that are people who want to travel here, other people who do travel here. I'll talk to the people I collaborate with over here that are also influencers, and they also have their own communities of people with this many people. Get on fucking TikTok and start making TikToks about travel. Travel to here, travel to there, the places you want to go. Start living your life like you are it. You gotta pretend to be. Put yourself out there like you already. I've already got the following. Like, put the content out that as if the followers are already there to see it. Thanks, guys. Like talk to them like they're there. Talk to them like they're there. Put them into the mix. Like, what would you put out there as that person? Even if you're not physically there yourself, what would the planning? This is what I put in my fucking, or this is what I put in my suitcase to go here. These are my favorite hot spots. These are the places I want to go. This is my vision board. This is my dream vacation. When you put that shit into the world, when you take the time to visualize it, create it, put it, let other people see it, add their energy to it, even if they fucking hate on you and don't want you to go there, oh well, they're feeding into your fucking reality, and you can get there. So use that momentum. TikTok, like I said, is the biggest fucking search engine place right now. They're using search engine optimization now too, so keywords are important. Put the word travel, speak the word travel, you know, whatever it is about what you're doing, and that's going to help your chances. Put the little hashtag travel. Like, that's the fucking big secret, is being smart about that, but then also being consistent. And if you can't be consistent on your own, there's fucking AI, and there's all these scheduling apps that like make it so fucking easy. I wish I could just be normal, because if I could be normal, I would have so much more done in such better ways, but I don't have that logical fucking other side of me. Like, I'm the creative right brain and know all the weird woohoo's, but when it comes to like sit down, I know all of it, I know how to do it, I know all the apps, and I've done it, but it's like there's a disconnect at times. So if you have that in you, and you could sit your ass down and make the content and schedule it and just keep doing it, and don't even look at it sometimes, like just let it do its thing and know that it's building for you, it will grow. I'm gonna have to start another account just for traveling. Yeah, do it. It's not, there's no reason why you shouldn't. Once a month, sit you down and be like, okay, I'm gonna do like this, like look it up too. Be like, what's the best amount of time for me to do this, and what's the best amount of days that I should post here? Because everybody's different. You know, some places is like less is more, and other places is more is better. You know, fucking these Rails and Instagram and TikTok, those are 30-second little videos. Not all of them live that long, but some of them do live that long. But like your posts on those places, they're not, they have like a short time that they're like usually relevant, you know. YouTube is great because it's like, I've got videos that I made fucking 2 years ago that are still being watched regularly. Those are still bringing in money. Those are still bringing in new people that want to see more from me about things like that. Then I got the Munay Ki that's constantly like new people are signing up. They're taking the rights. So those are bringing in their own money on that. So find that stuff too. Figure out how you can monetize. Like come up with a travel thing. Like people need those. What do you call it? Travel fucking. They have like their planner. I can't think of the name. It's like a X. It starts with the EX. I think. What the fuck is it? I have no idea how to start, but I'll give it a shot. So it's pretty positive. If I traveled to that country, I was wondering what kind of experience await there. I think they're saying balance the mind, stop wasting time. So I think it would be a good experience. I feel like that's why like they say take the vacation, go see if you like it. But it's time for a change, and you know that. So just go. Don't worry about it. Don't, because if you sit here and go, but is it gonna be bad? Is it gonna be negative? Then it's gonna be negative. It's the same thing. As if should I go then or then? You decide when you go. You decide if you're gonna enjoy it, and you decide how long it takes, how long you're there, if you even like it when you get there. But if you expect it to not be good before you get there, it's not gonna be good. But if you go there expecting it's gonna be fucking great, it's gonna be life changing. I'm going to meet amazing people. I'm going to have a great time. I'm going to eat good food. I'm going to love it there. I'm probably not even going to want to come home, then that will be the thing that happens. But if you go into it expecting that, I don't know, but it might not be, then it won't be. But they're saying it's time for a break. How are you even awake? So I feel like you need to change up whatever you've been doing, or this lifestyle or this default setting that you kind of have where it's like, you tell me. Like what's going to happen. You tell me what should I expect. You tell me, am I going to have a good time? You tell you that. And until you take that responsibility for yourself and into your realization, then it won't be a good time for you because everybody else will be determining your life. You don't want to put that responsibility on me because I could sit here and be like, oh no, it's going to be really bad. You're going to be full of fucking regret. You're wicked naive. Someone's going to steal from you and they're going to take all your money. You're going to get, oh my God, it's going to be bad. And if I did that, then you might never go. And then I ruined that time for you because maybe I was in a bad mood that day, or I just didn't know that day, or I got the wrong fucking message that day. And I just messed up your potential for having a great time on a vacation somewhere that you may have really enjoyed. It could have changed your entire life. It could have been that muse that you needed to make you feel alive again. So if you're interested in doing travel thing, start there. Start the travel thing. Go research. There's other people out there who've already figured that out, become successful with it, and now teach other people how to do it. And a lot of that stuff is out there for free. You just got to put the time and energy and effort into it, just with anything. Nothing comes to us easily, usually. Like, it comes easily, but not so easily, like, where we don't do anything for it to happen. So go learn that stuff. See if you have what it takes to do that. And if you do, then go for the things and travel and have a good time. And don't put any big thing on it of, like, oh, this is going to be all or nothing. Because if you do that, then you're going to have a lot of letdowns when it's an all or nothing type of life. Because all or nothing gets us nowhere. Usually it's just it's a mindset that people get stuck in. Like, oh, if this isn't it, then it's going to suck forever. And I'm going to hate myself. And I'm going to be really mad. Or, just I wish that I didn't do that. But instead, if you just look at it as like another day, another opportunity, everything's beautiful. It's easier for you to have a good time. But, try not to let other people be the one that's going to do that for you. Like, really, I feel like people are going into this next level of the awakening where it's like we need to realize how fucking powerful we are and how powerful we can be. Because I could easily sit here and pull up cards for you and be like, oh no, you're going to be sad. And then that screws that up for you. Because what if you choose to not go because of that, So, let yourself be the one that kind of decides, like, what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how it makes you feel. Intuition, it says, trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers that you seek. They're like, you already know. Inner alchemy is achieved when you react to fear with love. So, obviously, you're going to be nervous about just, like, changing up a job or traveling across the world to another country. Yeah, that's going to bring up fears. But if you approach it with the love and realizing, like, I've been guided to this. Spirit's been guiding. I wouldn't just come up with this out of my ass out of nowhere. Like, I've been guided to this. My intuition is telling me this. If I fear it and doubt it and get scared about it, then yeah, I'm going to create a shitty time. But if I let myself be vibrating and raised to the higher level, I'm going to be connected to the cosmic intelligence. The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing you the signs and synchronicities. So surrender your control to outcome and just be with life in this present moment. And rest assured that your dreams and your visions will come to fruition. But that's your dreams and fruition. So if you start thinking, oh, I might not have a good time, or oh, it's not good, or it might be like the wrong place for me, then you're going to block yourself from having a good time. So follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides in your soul, and live your life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination. So if you feel that thing inside of you that's like, yes, I really want to do that, then do that. And know that you're not alone. You are guided by masters and teachers of the highest realm. So you have spirit with you that can help you. And you are amazing, magnificent, unique, but more importantly, you are enough. And you are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. So you may need to go over there to channel, or you may need to go somewhere to channel. But you are guided by the cosmos, so stay strong. A positive outcome is assured. So that's all you need to know. Positive outcome is assured. Expand your consciousness by observing the divine matrix of life. So they want you to go out and live your life. They want you to experience the world. They want you to have that courage to do those things and know that everything will work out okay. But get into the practice of, you calling those shots of like determining, is this going to be good or bad? Or is this going to be a good time? Is this going to be a bad time? Should I or shouldn't I? Let yourself feel it from within. And like in terms of time and stuff like that. Let yourself come up with the time. And then, like, if you come up with a time, then a question around it would be like, what is the best, like, I have a goal set of going here in 6 months. Like what is the best way for me to manifest that? Or does it appear like I'm on my way there? Or what block is holding me? What belief do I need to release in order to make sure that I get to that outcome that I'm trying to manifest? And just be mindful of the way that you think about it or the way that you word stuff, because it's very important not only to like your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind and the people around you and the energy that you emit and the way that things manifest. Like if you go onto a channel and you're talking to other people, if you're not confident enough or you don't speak in a certain way, people pick up on that and they won't maybe necessarily trust you as much as somebody else that doesn't approach it with that like uncertainty around it. The more confident you can be within yourself and your things and what you've got, the better it'll be. So that's why I'm saying, like, go research a little bit about other people who do that, see what, and then look at other people who are really fucking killing it at that. Like, wow, that one did that. Look at all those people that they have connected with and all those awesome opportunities that they've had. What are they doing? When are they doing it? Or what were they doing and when were they doing it when they first started? Because that's going to be more important than like today. If they're killing it now, they started somewhere that like built the momentum to get to there, because it's not the same. People look at people who have been like doing stuff for 10 years and they want to approach it in the same way, and it's like, no, they didn't start out the gate like that. You've got to fucking try and build. Like, we all start with zero. We all start with nothing, and we get to that place based off of how long we stick to it and how many people come along. And if we keep going on that path, and if we decide to like swerve away and then come back, and depends on like if we've been in our integrity, if we've allowed fears to sabotage us, if we just no longer resonate with certain things. So just try to find the things that make sense for you and for you to be guided with. Hi. Okay. Just nervous about it. I want to travel more. I only went to Europe once, so I know I can be solo travel again. Yeah. I like nature, so that place has a lot of nature. I have to work full time. Balance out this traveling account. I can do. Yeah, you see, a traveling account, like I said, you have scheduling apps. You could do this once a month. You sit down and schedule everything for 1 month, and just schedule it. Let it go out there. Check on it. It's like I'm sure you pulled your phone out and checked on it like a couple of times during the day. Check on it a couple of times during the day. Answer people on it. Talk to people. Build on it. But if it's really something you desire to do, you'll do it. Awesome sauce. Yay. So hopefully that will help. Hi Laura, did you have a question? I don't know if she's still there. Oh, anything that wants to come through, okay. My foot hurts. Ugh. Sometimes when I take a shower, it fucking, like, it sets off the nerves and it's like, you just want to hurt. And it's like, I want to touch it, but I don't want to touch it because it makes it hurt worse. Anything that wants to come through. Committed until death do us part isn't enough. Hey, so I feel like that's kind of saying, like, you know, idiot boy, that's not enough. Even if he's gotten married and done committed over there, this is not enough because, hey, I know we are meant to be, and I'm committed to our love. Commitment. Commitment. Okay, so they're saying, like, don't fucking pay attention. You have no idea how badly I want to taste you. So he's thirsty. He's, he may be committed over there, but it's not as it seems, okay? That commitment he's got over there is not enough. He's like, can we forgive and forget? Love scares me because it scarred me, so it's pretty fucking clear. He's had some scarring around there. He's nervous. My anxiety is worse than ever before. I'm constantly worried and insecure. They broke up. See? What did I fucking tell you? I told you, look, I'm filled with fear and doubt, regret. It's like, we're no longer together. So it wasn't enough, that it doesn't matter the way he approached that, the way I watched some of the thing the other night from the ALCYONE thing, the 5-hour thing, because it was the opposite view, and I wanted to see if I could see the stuff. But I had talked to you that night about him, and he's got a tendency to rush into some shit, and then he's unfulfilled and he's bored, and he's now full of regret. I can't do this anymore. He feels stupid. But I feel like in a way it is helping him to become a better version of himself, because he's gonna learn from these lessons, hopefully, or he's gonna, have to have something. Like, I can't seem to do what's right. I adore your innocence. So, like, he knows that you have this, like, innocence about you. You're not necessarily naive, but you do have, like, a sense about you that's like, you're not this, okay? I feel like this is what he ends up getting into these, and I talked to you about this before. I was like, you're too nice. It's not that you're too nice, and I'm not saying to go be mean to him, but it's like, right now, who you are is loving, nurturing, caring. You're nice. Like, you care about him in a way that nobody has, and that's foreign to him. He called me on the phone while I was in Virginia visiting my friend, and he said, I've made bad decisions out of loneliness. Yes. And he's, at least he can admit that, because that's a lot for him to admit. People do. I can't keep it together, and I know I've already screwed things up. Irresponsible. So you've been there each time he does this stupid shit. Like, you keep, being the steady thing there. So there's that. Just make sure that you're not naive within that. Make sure that at some point he knows that, like, and I think you've done it. Like, you've said stuff, and you've told him things, and he's reacted, and maybe it wasn't like, oh my God, that was amazing, but at least it was said and it was put out there. It's like, when we don't treat ourselves with the respect that we should, or we don't demand that respect out of other people, then they can't really give it to us, because we're not giving it to us. So, the fact that you've stood up and said things at different times, and you've watched him make a fool of himself, you've still been there for him, but not in the way of, like, just try to find the healthy balance within all of that, because I think you're both learning. Think about what you just said. He's made bad decisions out of loneliness. Do you feel like you may have made some bad decisions out of loneliness along the way with him? If you're honest with yourself, like, I maybe not would have done that if I wasn't a little feeling lonely, or feeling like I didn't want to be without him. And if I wasn't being motivated out of the fear, or that insecure, or whatever the fuck it was at the time that was like, triggering me to do with him, I probably wouldn't have done that. But I think if we can sometimes like realize and take ourselves out of it and be like, oh my god, I am a mirror. Like it's not an exact mirror. You're not being an asshole and doing really fucked up things like that. That I feel like that's a whole other level on his side. But in the way of what you're doing with you, you're mirroring the way that he, like, okay, so he wasn't showing up for you in the way that would have been nice and good, but you weren't showing up for you in the way that would have been nice and good. He made stupid decisions out of loneliness, and you've made some decisions out of that like, you know, a fear of not being with him or a fear of losing him altogether. Rather than, you know, standing up for myself and telling him to fuck off, and when he, you know, pulls away and goes away, I panic because I don't want him to go away completely. But if you just realize that if he's meant to be and if he cares or whatever, if you stand strong and firm and he's gonna come back either way. But when you kind of fold into or give over or cave a little bit or like, oh, I'm sorry, then that kind of is detrimental because it's like that's going to shape how he looks at you. So how you look at you is how he looks at you too. So if you're like, I don't know, I don't want to be too mean, like I don't even think it's that. It's like you're afraid of the consequences and you're afraid to go over that little hump of time that it might take to get to that other side of it where he does respect you. But that's because there's like you need to work on more self-respect. And when you have more self-respect and more self-confidence and more self-power, more self-love and more that's when he's going to have that for you too. And it's a mirror act. And it's fucking hard. It's not easy at all. And there's so many layers and like weird fucking hazy shit around it. But it is, at the end of the day, it's like how we see us is how they see us. And how they act is how we act. It's not always exact. It's like, whoa. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So and I'm not trying to make you feel bad or call you out or anything. I just want you to catch that in it because he's, you know, him being open and vulnerable about that. See it, recognize it, but then also be honest with yourself and say, okay, where have I been like that? Can I work on that? Can I heal that? Can I grow from that? Because if I can, then he can. Because you usually are going to be the leader in this. Whatever you do, he does. Can't break out of these illusions. So if he's stuck in illusions, you don't want him there. You've got to be that muse to help him inspire and break free from that shit to become determined. I'm never going to stop trying to do better. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. So you know what you want and how to get to where you want. And you know what you want to do. You don't want to be in this distance away from him on any level, physical, mental, emotional. You have desires. You hate not knowing what's going on in his life. And you hate watching him be manipulated by other people. But if you let him manipulate you in any way, or you let him kind of call the shots, or be in control over things, or treat you in a way that you know is beneath where you should be treated, is kind of a manipulative way about it, or a little bit like he's still talking to you, but now he's married to this one, he just did that thing, like there's got to be a point where you stand up and say, fuck that, no, I found the perspective, the wisdom to change my perspective, and through that, he will get the courage to change and show up and be like, okay, I'm gonna treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Because you're treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated. So keep that, you know, inside of you. Like whenever you feel a little nervous about like standing up for yourself or, you know, seeing the lessons within all of it. And then recognizing how far you've come. Because I know, like I remember there's been times that like it was really crazy, you know, and there was hostilities and stuff. And there's always going to be like a fucking craziness around stuff in our lives, but we can sabotage ourselves or we can get honest with ourselves and be like, yeah, I've been sabotaging myself by doing that or not seeing that or allowing that. And once I stop, you know, when I get to the weak breaking point and I'm finally breaking, I've had enough, then that naive part of me is going to go away, but I don't have to kill it. I don't have to kill the inner child. I just have to be creative and help us break free from these illusions that we're being stuck in and repeating. And I'm just miserable and I'm really tired of pretending I'm not. And I know we'll find our way back to each other in divine time. And you know, he is obviously going to be a different person through all of this, and so are you. So you know that you're doing the work already just by getting through these stages. I want to give you more of me and I want more of you. And just work on that. Just keep working on being the best you that you can be and showing that to him and making him either not making him, but like letting him be like, okay, you can either treat me with respect and goodness, or you can not be near me at all and go make your dumb fucking stupid decisions out of loneliness because I'm not going to be here just for you, you know, when it's convenient or when it's easier, when when you're lonely. You know what I mean? Like, just have that level of bitch that you need. Not like I'm a full-on bitch, but I got the bitchiness in there that protects, so that you don't have to be like shackled into anything that's hurtful or painful or difficult more than it needs to be, because it's already a difficult, confusing fucking craziness that people deal with in these things. But I think you know a lot more than you let yourself think too, because like there's been times you're like, I don't know, and I'm like, yeah, you do. And it's like, yeah, like you can see what he's doing in his actions. He posts and deletes. He's fucking talking to this girl, and a week later he's got this other girl, and they're like married. Like, what the fuck? None of that is normal. None of that is like gonna last. But in the moment when it happens, of course it's gonna trigger you, and you're gonna be like, I can't believe that. Oh my god, it hurts. Like, it's like being stabbed in the fucking stomach. But the fact that that stabs you in the stomach and you stay there for it is like, okay, is that okay? Or is that like, I shouldn't be staying here for this. Like I should be disengaged and not even a part of it. And then when he's done with that shit show, he wants to come apologize or something like that, then that's another story. But you know, we gotta work ourselves up to that too, like, because you guys have had the element of friendship. But like, obviously there's been more than friendship, because there's been times that he's done some stupid shit when he's been lonely or whatever. But I think that might even be a fucking him, like, glazing over the truth of the fact of like he does like you. He liked you in the beginning just fine, remember? Like, he came and pursued you, but that probably was because you weren't as open and easily readily available for him at that time. You were a little bit of a challenge. You weren't like, oh, I love you and I want to be with you and let me give you all my time and all my devotion. Yeah, you could do anything and that's fine. I'll still be here loving you. If you do that, sometimes, even though the person may love you, care about you, like you, they can't respect you in the way that they need to in order for it to like, you know, elevate up. So you've got to take that into your own hands and be like, okay, I got to demand this respect. I got to demand this, show my value and know my value and be that, and use this time now to show that, you know, be there for him, support him while this is all happening and all of that. But don't let it be like a don't let it be a repeat of the past. What are you doing, crazy? What the fuck? So hopefully that makes sense, because I feel like this would be a good opportunity for you to, obviously like you're probably gonna get back into like the things like where he's calling more often, you guys talking more often, or things are kind of like whatever, interacting more. Just keep a level of boundary and self-respect up that protects you, so that you don't have a repeat of what's already happened, because I don't think you want to do that. I think you are ready to get over that hostile shit, to get over the games, and get over we have all these desires and, like, you know, wants and needs, and neither one of us are getting them met because he's weird. And maybe, you know, in his weirdness it's caused you to probably not even, like, I feel like in these situations, it's like, if you think back to all the other people you've dealt with or dated or talked to, it's like, have you ever let any of those other people be even like a fucking inkling of what you've allowed this thing to be? Probably not. If you thought about other people, you're like, would I let that person or that person or that person do it? Probably not. And that's why I feel like the whole, like, just even labeling the twin flame thing becomes detrimental for a lot of people, because we do build it in our heads. But they're magic, or they're amazing, they're the one and the only. So it's like they get a free pass, but that's the test. Is like, no, that's not okay. Like, if anybody's gonna be the one and only or whatever, like, they should be the one to the highest standard or the highest degree. If you're gonna be with me in my reflection, then you better fucking act right and be like my equal. Like, don't be fucking playing games and lying and manipulating and treating me like that, because that's not divine, and that's beneath my level of integrity, my level of authenticity, my level of fucking power and respect, and what I would like to be seen in this world. So until you can meet me there and raise up to that level, then, you know, go be with your fucking comic weirdos. But I demand more for that, you know. Hi, Sirius. He came to see you because you're so serious. Huh. Hi, Sirius. Did you come see Laura? Is that from the serious? Are you from the serious? Are you my serious? Oh, the serious came to see you, Laura. It's serious. Say hi. What's your matter? 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 You good boy? Does that make sense? I know. He's a softie. He's a big emotional softie. He's like a little dolphin. Have you seen the Syrian video where he was in it? Like where I did the Syrian characteristics and he's like dead, like folded over, all fucking incapacitated, unconscious. Hi, 7-Eleven. What's the matter? Uh-oh. LOL, no, but I will find... on the Divine Essentials channel, I have a series called, like, the characteristics ones, like, Starseed characteristics. It's Pleiadian, Lyran, Syrian, and, they're, like, 20-minute long videos, but there's, like, a lot of people watch them and comment because they resonate. So if you feel like a resonance for the Syrian energy, it may describe who you are as a person, and it's just like a 20-minute, like, this is who you may be. But there's a lot of beings from Sirius. It's not just like one out of them, you know. There's the Fae, there's the Feline, there's the, like, being, like, there's the mermaids, there's, like, the dolphins, the whales. It's kind of like an Earth, but there's a lot of things that manifest, and some of them are, like the Fae, like, punk rock Fae, and then there's, like, the Elven that are, like, more, like, I don't know, they have, like, a regal presence or something, but they're more of they're like into mystery, like escapism through like fantasy or games, like The Sims, you know, like I'm gonna go play The Sims instead of living in this world because this world sucks and I'm deeply emotional. But they like to express themselves creatively, or they dress a little differently, do things a little differently. Some of them do, not all of them do. Some of them are artists instead. Some paint on their arms and some paint on the canvas. But they're very emotional beings. And anytime I do anything with Sirius, like the star Sirius, he comes. And there was a night that I did a dolphin active, like a healing for this lady Bonnie. And it was at the other house where the room to, like, my door to that room, they could be near. So he was like banging on it, banging on it, banging on it. He had never done that for any other event, any other thing I did in there, any private session. That night he was like, let me in! And as soon as I picked him up and let him in, he fucking passed out like he did in that video. He was just like, oh my god. So, I know every time I talk to you, he comes. So I feel like that's a sign that you may be a Syrian. Divine. Syrian starseed traits. It's that one. 20,000 views, 344 comments, and they're all like, oh my god, because people figure it out when they watch this one. Let me see if I could get the spot where it's like, in that part right there, he's like folded over asleep with his head like all like bleh. He stayed like that the whole time. Okay, let me see. That's the very beginning of it. So in the very beginning, that's when he put his head down. He stayed like that the whole fucking time. And then at the end, I told the people, I'm like, he's definitely not in a comfortable position.
So you could be very serious, but also very unique. Huh? Are you my serious monster? He's a good boy. So yeah, you could be like him.
He's got one eye closed in the video. I don't know what it is. He just like gets knocked out by it, but whenever he shows up, I feel like whoever I'm dealing with has Syrian energy. Whenever ALCYONE shows up, I feel like it's the ALCYONE energy, which is the great central sun, or the brightest one inside of the Pleiades. So yeah. Yeah. That, there's like a full playlist. I didn't do Orion. I was going to do Orion. Did I do Andromedan? I think I did Andromedan. I did Lyran, Syrian. I did Lyran and Vegan together. I did Arcturian, Pleiadian. I'm pretty sure I did Andromedan. But they're all over there on that channel. I never expected as many people to watch them as they did. Like, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal as it became. Like, I got a lot of emails and a lot of followers from those. 9 signs that you're a starseed, the 7 stages of an awakening, how to find your starseed origins, Pleiadian, Syrian, Arcturian, Andromedan, Lyran, and Vegan. I still have to do Orion. And then I was gonna maybe do the Greys, the Reptilians, but I don't really like to talk about them or connect to that energy, just because of the negativity around them and like the lower vibrations. But I don't mind, not the Orion, but the Greys and the Reptilian ones can have a lot of like bad rap. But I guess I could help, because the Reptilians are also connected to the dragon energy, or the dragon line. Marion and Michael in the dragon line. Yes. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. I talk to Sirius a lot when I'm outside at night. Aw, see? He knows. He comes over for it every time. That's funny. He's leaning towards the thing too. It's 7-Eleven is here. Hi, 7-Eleven. Come here. What are you doing? Hi, 7-Eleven. Don't push her out of the way. Don't push her out of the way. Oh, my God. Hello, 7-Eleven. Hello. Oh. Uh-oh, my husband's mad. Uh-oh, my husband's mad. Don't jump. Don't jump. Hi, Mama. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah! I got too many wieners. Too many wieners. Stay, stay, stay. What are you doing, chunky butt? Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Here, you go over there. You go over there. Jump. Oh, no, no, no. Ah! Go, go. Jesus Christ. Be nice. I will kill you. Go ahead, 7-Eleven. Go ahead. Go ahead. Watch out. Oh, my goodness. Whee! All right, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Use this, here. Use the bed, okay? Where are you going? No, you go wait. Yeah, so, I guess I'll just do one for, what's her name, and then we'll be done. But hopefully that made sense for you. Thank you so much. I have been working on more self-love and journaling a lot, meditating to your videos and subliminals. Awesome sauce. And I hope you know I hate when there's no, like, I can talk to you back to, because it's like, I don't want to come across as like mean or like picking on you or anything like that. And I'm not, because I know, because I've been there and I've done it, and it's like, I still do it. I still fuck up. I still catch myself. And like when I catch it, I'm like, oh fuck, don't do that again. And when I see the things, I'm like,
it's better for you to know, because then you can get through the other side. If not, you just keep being like manipulated by ourselves, you know, or manipulated by other people, because a lot of people suck. So I'm glad that you know. It's like, it's hard to be the one to tell people sometimes, but just in the sense of like, am I going to say it right? Are they going to understand? Are they going to get mad at me? Because that happens too. People can take things on and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I feel like we're all trying to find a balance in love, and we do just need to be responsible for ourselves, and that is what's going to tame other people in our lives to treat us the right way. This is that it's unfaithful. I've been hurt too many times, so it's like we've all been hurt, and we can all empathize with being hurt. But at some point, we've got to decide, like, to be that one that inspires ourselves and others to treat us differently, or to raise the bar in a way where it's like, okay, if you're not going to treat me that way, I'm determined to treat me that way. And if that means I've got to remove you from my life because I'm so exhausted and drained by you, or you're just not changing, or you're, you know, stupid when you're lonely or whatever, and there's no reason for you to be lonely because, you know, I've been here this whole time, which I feel like in a way sometimes is the thing that needs to be removed for people to realize, like, fuck, like, I didn't realize what I had until it's gone. So, you know, always keep that in mind. It's like, don't be hostile for no reason or be mean for no reason. But, you know, if there's things that he does that causes you to get frustrated or angry, or he self-sabotages, at some point you got to be loyal to you and be like, okay, I'm going to pull myself away from this for now, and whatever happens, happens. Sometimes that can help people to be like, oh, I shouldn't have been such an asshole. But I know we will find our way back to each other in divine times. Like, if that's what it's supposed to be in all of our lives, whatever it is, whoever it is, whether it's a twin flame, divine counterpart, fucking whatever, if we're in our receptive energy, powerful energy, you know, and we're faithful to ourselves, and we've been faithful to them, and like there's like we can trust them, like we can reestablish that. We know that hasn't been destroyed to the point where it's like I might as well not even try, because if there's no trust, there's nothing. So as long as that hasn't been completely kaput, then, you know, we can help people who are unhealthy in those ways to also become determined to change. Because sometimes people aren't willing to, it's not that they're not willing to change, they don't believe that they're in themselves enough to change, or they don't feel like they're like no matter what I do, I always mess up, or I'm not good enough, or whatever the belief is, or I'm so guilty feeling about what I've already done, so I might as well just like stay over here and be sad and miserable. You know, you've been sweet and nice to me, and I've just been a dick. So, like, sometimes people are their own worst enemies. Like, you don't even have to be mad at them. They're already condemning themselves and believing things that are fucked up. And if you don't know that, you can't fix it, you know? So, also, that's another place to watch. Like, am I feeling inadequate towards him? Am I feeling insecure towards him? Am I feeling anything inside of myself, like, that he brings up in me that may be being brought up in him? Because we probably don't see it that way, because that's how it's meant. It's like, oh no, he makes me insecure, but he may be insecure by you, or he may be intimidated at some thought of like expressing himself, or going deeper into emotions. But the truth is that I love you. So it's like the truth may be the truth, but if I'm not comfortable telling you the truth, then I'm going to probably be abandoned out of my own fucking inability to tell you the truth. And meanwhile, you're feeling abandoned, and you're feeling this truth of love, and you're feeling like I want to express myself, but I don't want him to run away or never talk to me again. I don't want to be too much, blah, blah, blah. So it's like finding that middle ground, and sometimes it just takes time for people to get more comfortable and to build the trust that's required for that stuff to happen, and to take people off of the pedestal, which, you know, usually can come at the hands of them acting like an asshole a few times. It's like, oh, that pedestal has just dropped a few more notches. You know, that's self-sabotage too. And when we learn all those things, we become more like forgiving. It's like when you learn enough psychology, it's hard to stay mad. It's hard to be like, oh, well, blah, 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 about stuff, because you're like, oh, they're just wounded, like, or they just had this bad thing. It's not necessarily a good thing, because we can make up a lot of excuses for people that maybe don't even necessarily deserve them. But we mostly all have karma. We mostly all have torture. And we mostly all do shit to ourselves, like out of fear, and out of being embarrassed, or out of inadequacy within ourselves, or fear within ourselves. And that's what this is all about, is like unconditional love and being that. Even if we never end up with the people, it's like we can still love them unconditionally. We can still root for them. You know, there's a purpose behind it all. It's like, it doesn't always have to end out like tra-la-la, but usually just having somebody that actually cares about you, regardless of what you've done, is a helpful thing in your life. And it's also fated things in our lives. So sometimes we can't get away from it no matter how fucking hard we try. He's like, the more confident you are, the better. So the more he is brought to you. So also know that. He may be also having a lot of anger and frustration right now. So just keep that in mind. Like if he comes out of like place and he's all fucking mad and he maybe directs it at you because he's fucking pissed off at himself, just know that. Because he's embarrassed. He knows he's been stupid. Like, how many fucking times, dude? Like, I'm like, God, man, I feel bad for you because you're just dumb. Like, he's not you, him. Like, he's been foolish with himself and you. And now he feels awkward, so he may act up or he may let himself get, like, bitchy about something and just, you know, maybe take it off in the wrong way. If that happens and he gets pissed off, that just went flying. I keep messing it up and I don't like it. If that happens, just know it's not your fault, you know. He knows he's fucked up. He knows he may want to. Men, when they feel stupid or they feel like they made a mistake or whatever, sometimes they just need to express themselves physically or yelling or punching, or not you, but just something, or they want to slam or they want to like let it out of them, and it may cause them to need to actually practice a lot of self-control because it ain't your fucking fault that they did what they did, but you may trigger the anger within them if you ask the wrong thing, you know, or just, you know, hit him on the wrong day. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to provoke you is there. So just be careful. You know, you may want to ask him stuff, but if you can sense that he's annoyed, or you can sense that he's like feeling really doubtful about what he's done, it may not be the best time. It may cause an uproar that you really don't want to. And then you might have to be provoked in the sense of like, all right, he just treated me really badly and now I have to like do this thing. But if I had led into that moment, realized that he was already frustrated and pissed off, and if I hadn't really like kept pushing, asking that question, you know, so if you sense that, just pull back and maybe reapproach it at another time when you want to word it in a different way. Or it depends on what it is. If it's something you feel is like really strongly that you need to know about, or you feel like he's just reacting in anger to like avoid discussing it, you know, that's up to you to decide. Maybe there'll be a reason why he has to have a fucking meltdown or something. But if it is something that can be avoided, that's usually better. Because I think he feels like a failure right now, and he's got a lot of pressure, which men just have a lot of pressure in this world anyways. But I think he has a lot of pressure on himself surrounding you anyhow. And he says, I know I've done some really stupid things, and I'm so sorry. So he does feel stupid, but that's not usually like a great leeway into other behavior or feelings about ourselves. So you have the power to calm him down, or you have the power to be like, bah, for him. So you can soothe him. If you notice he's annoyed, try soothing him later. I told him that I had a dream with him in it, and I Can't Fight This Feeling by Rio Speedwagon was playing in it. Aw, that's funny. What did he say? I got the Emperor here with my Divine Essentials deck. Like, this is my Starseed deck, and the fucking Emperor came through. See, keep your boundaries and allow yourself to receive. When you have healthy boundaries, it's actually easier for you to receive sometimes, because people are like, you know, they know, like, if I want to receive from you, I've got to give. I got to have balance with you. But if I don't have enough healthy boundaries up, or I don't say no sometimes, then I may not receive in balance, and people just take. He just changed the subject. Yeah, see, he gets uncomfortable. So just know, like, in those moments, don't take it personally, but, you know, maybe let him do that stuff. Like, because I know in the past he has. In the past, he's been the one that, like, came to you and has said stuff. So when you think of the Divine Feminine, she's receptive and nurturing, right? She receives. I feel like he will open up to you. He will take the lead if you allow him to. He may not do it as fast as you want him to, okay?
But if, if you can allow him that space in that room and trust, like if he's really truly meant to be here and all of that, his absence is going to bring balance. My absence is going to bring balance. So I'm going to step back and I'm going to let him take the lead. Our thing here is there's a bigger purpose to all of this. There's no rush on all of it. Something sweet or sour is coming to me in the hour, and I'm the creator of my reality. So if I focus on it being sour, it's going to be. But if I focus on that we have a solid foundation and I can trust him to take the lead, and I do trust him to take the lead, and I do have unconditional love for him, and I surrender the past and the old bullshit, and I change the fear that I have or anything that's out of alignment, that foundation can be good, and I can be open, receptive, and then, just receive it rather than block it or get, like, impatient about it or be the one to, like, tell him, I know we want to, like, we want it, look at Orion. These are both the karmic cards. So, if you have the Syrian energy, you're an emotional being. You're going to be more apt to want to share that with him. But for now, I would just try to find, like, another way of acknowledging that stuff. Don't really mention much of it. Just kind of, like, acknowledge it. Know that those are the signs from spirit that, like, what's going on a deeper emotional level. And this is for your highest and best, so that you can be aware of it and get your confirmation, and you don't need him to confirm it for you because you're going to trust what spirit gives to you. But then as you do that and you take the pressure off of him having to respond or him having to acknowledge those moments, and you let him take the lead as the emperor, you can allow yourself to receive much more balanced and have the unify of the duality, have the good stuff, manifesting. So, just take note of those things that are happening, and I know there's almost like a level of like wanting to share all of that synchronicity with them and be like, look at all these signs that I see and look at all this stuff that I get, to almost like prove it. But doing it in a direct way like that doesn't always help. So if you can find like a subtle way to do it, or just share it in some way or something that he can see but isn't like you telling him, you have inside of you what you need to soothe him. You can give him that tranquil power, that healing power, the dolphin consciousness power, the Syrian emotional, the high priestess vibing at the highest quotient of light, the cosmic ocean, the wisdom of the whales. Like, you can tap into that part of yourself and deliver that to him in a gentle way that isn't so much for him. Because I feel like when you just directly say those things to him, it's like, ah! Like he wants to, he doesn't know how to take it. He's just like, he just closes down, so, try like a more subliminal way, or more just indirect, I guess. Like if you see a bunch of synchronicity connected to him, and you know it's connected to him, if you share it on your social media that he sees, then he'll probably see it and know it's connected to him too, because they usually do know, the stuff that you wonder, the stuff that you can kind of think about, like in the back of your head, usually is on. Like I've had a lot of confirmation over the time of like stuff that I wondered before, and then was able to find out directly from that person. Like they're like, yeah, blah 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 blah. Like they have the same things happen, or they see the same stuff happen, or they'll ask me questions about something specific that I'm like, okay, obviously that's connected to that. So just know that if you have that stuff happening, he does too. But there's ways around it of like not necessarily having to come straight out and say it to him. I got almost time. Nobody compares, and I read all of your messages. So even if he doesn't say something to your messages, know that he reads them. I will allow him to. Yeah, that would be better. That way he can feel like he's in control. You must be my soulmate, and I need courage to reach out. I feel like it's more so I need courage to be able to speak about that stuff. I want to make love to you, but I don't know what to do. You are perfect, so that could be intimidating too. If he thinks that you're perfect, he's like, oh man, you're too good. Nobody compares. I'm jealous. Like, I've looked up twin flames. I love you. I miss you. You make me feel alive inside. You're so beautiful. I don't deserve you. please don't give up on us. I'm working on my issues. So like he's aware that he's got some issues. But yeah, I'm gonna do the one for Lisa, because I missed Lisa the other day. So she had asked about career. So I'm gonna do like a career one, and then if anything else comes from spirit for her, let her get that too, because if not, I'm gonna miss it again, and I don't want to do that to her. Oh God, thank you. It says, it's time for a break. How are you even awake? And Lisa, I know that you've had a lot of fucking shit going on, and not everybody around you is aware to the degree that you've had shit going on. Like, you know, everybody has their normal stress and their normal things, and then you have an asshole in your life at work and causes chaos for everybody around you. So you probably just need a vacation, man. Spirit's like, how are you even dealing with your life? So even if you stay with the job that you're at and, you know, maintain it or whatever, it says their absence brings balance. I feel like you taking a break, you having a time away from there for a little bit would be a good thing for you. Just like even a week or like, you know, a few days, give yourself a long weekend, take a Friday and a Monday off. And that may help you just, yeah, pour some more, close the door, break time. You need a break. You need to take a vacation, just a short one. You know, it's time for change. It won't be strange. It's okay to take a couple of days off. Hi. The time is now. No need to wait. Go out on a date. So go out and have fun. You know, it doesn't have to be a romantic date. It could just be out. Just go out to the world, have fun. So there's opportunities out there for you. They're like, what are you waiting for? You know, even if you called in sick, like, you know, they're not going to fucking fire you. You're a hard worker. You show up all the time. You do what you need to do. So call in on a Friday and then be like, you know what? I'm still sick on Monday. But be somewhere enjoying yourself. Have a break. You need a break from that place. And even that, I feel like just you getting the fuck out of there might help you, like, to be like, wait a minute, I'm not going back. Like, I just need to break out of that grip of that place. But there's delays here. It says it's gonna be strong. It's gonna be longer. The wait will make you stronger. But I really feel like that's up to you, because you have the opportunity available to you every moment of every day to get out of there. But you got to balance your mind, and you got to decide for yourself: do I want to be there, or do I want to just take a break and then go back, or do I want to like start over somewhere else? You know, you pay attention to the signs and the synchronicity, and know that expansion and abundance is available to all of us in every moment of every day. There's no reason for us to feel lack or afraid or that we can't have something, because there's really like infinite potential. They're like, give it a week, don't become weak. So like if you start looking for other places to go or how to tap into your infinite abundance, or you start trying something and you don't see the results right away, don't let that become, oh, it's just not there for me, or I just can't have it, or I'm not good enough, or I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. It takes time. It's study. Like, these concepts take a long time to be like sunk into our head, and even when they're sunk into our head, we still have other things blocking them from on deeper levels because of society and conditioning, belief systems. We get the advocate. I align with the greatest good for all. Humanitarian, resourceful, integrous, idealistic, resilient, outspoken, opinionated, rebellious, a champion, supportive, compassionate, democratic, passionate, driven, devoted. Oh, come on. Where the hell is it? All right. As an advocate is an outspoken, resourceful, devoted humanitarian whose sole motivation is to support a positive social change. As an advocate, you are on a mission to close the gap between the real needs of the everyday people in your field
of expertise in the divine ideal for them. You have a strong opinion and are driven to champion the rights of others by improving organizations, institutions, communities, relationships, and social systems. You inspire people to give voice to what needs to be voiced in order to create positive change, even when the stance is unpopular. You are sensitive to what is amiss in a social structure, and your rebellious streak serves your drive to create change. Truth is your language, and you're willing to fight for the good fight in its defense. And you're admired by others as a compassionate leader, and you have a unique genius to activate empowerment in others and bind them together in action toward a greater calling. You masterfully give form and order to whatever movement you currently serve, and you can help construct it to stand the test of time. So I remember saying this to you on that thing that I sent to you the other day, actually, back like when the first time I did the Ganesh thing, and we had talked about all this stuff, and I was like, you could fucking have that job if you just spoke up and went and said what's happening, what's playing out, because that person's a manipulator and a liar, and she's like saying things that's not true, and you really are there because I feel bad, I don't want to leave those girls alone because if I leave and it's like, dude, what the fuck, like, if you're going to stay there in their defense, then truly rise to the defense and say, I'm going to put an end to this bitch. You know, like, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're serving justice. But if somebody's in there making everybody's fucking life miserable and lying to them, lying to you, oh, he hates you and blah, blah, blah. No, he doesn't. And you know he doesn't. And he knows he doesn't. He knows what he said and hasn't said. She's only been there for fucking like at that time it was like 3 months. So she's not been there that long. And you're the one doing all the work. So if you want to be there, like stay there and be happy there, you're going to have to step up to the plate and say something to make the fucking things change. Maybe take a break, take a week off and be like, I'm going to go think about all this and like prepare myself for it and show up there. And then have a fallback plan. Like, all right, if I do this and it just doesn't work out, then that's the sign for me to go somewhere the fuck else out of here and start like making that like, you know, available to you, like put some things out there, like apply to this job and this job and this job and all of that. Go in there, fight for your fucking thing, and be like, bah. And we already know, like, she's lying, she's a manipulator, she's an asshole. He hasn't said the things that she said he said, and blah, blah, blah. So if you really wanted to, you know, clear all that up, I think you could. And then even if it didn't work out well, then maybe that's a sign to go somewhere else. But you know, like, being there is not helping you. It's not making you better. It's not making your life enjoyable. So you got to decide and then take that action and go forward and do it, because you've been talking about it for a long time, but you hadn't done anything about it. And even like somebody that you know is like, oh, I bet you this, and you didn't do it. So you got to be the one that like bets yourself. But again, take a break first. Like, take a time off, have a little bit of a break, a breather. Don't go in from like where you are now into like battling that and then taking charge of everybody, which I feel like isn't going to be that big of a fucking shift for you, because you've already been like in charge of everybody, doing her job for her, and then being told you that people hate you at the same time on top of it is not good. They say that ignorance is bliss. Not so for an advocate. In your case, ignorance is believing that there are no limits to what you can do. If you become ungrounded or unconfident or overconfident, you could overshoot what is possible or put too much at stake, but fall. So without your platform to stand on, your world will contract with fear, and you will lose your direction, your position, and your purpose. If you are stressed, you can become over-responsible when it comes to trying to eliminate others' suffering and take on the burdens that are not yours to carry. And you may also over-identify with what you do and accomplish and believe that you are loved and valued only for those things. Remember that, although you are a valuable asset to your cause, business, organization, you're not the only one who can handle a challenge or get the job done. And you can be and are loved for being, not just doing. So, like, work with those other people to, like, build a little collaboration team there. Let's get together and get this bitch out of here because she's making everybody's life miserable. Like, work with them, collaborate with them, talk to them, blah, 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 blah. And know that, like, if you leave there, people are still going to love you and care about you, like, you know, regardless of whatever. Like, you don't have to save those girls by taking one for the team and being there in the misery with them. If you're going to do something for them, come together and be like, all right, let's get a plan in action and go above this bitch's head.
and make things right, because they're not going to want to lose all of you to her because she's not doing anything. And I align with the divine to practice personal responsibility and hone my high value gifts to support and promote positive social change for the greater good of all. So it's going to be better for all if that lady is, removed, or at least shifted, or you get to go to the other department, or something happens. You were promised all these changes and nothing changed that was good or good for you, that like it's just made bad or worse, or like, or I'm just staying to help this one. And it's like, no. The high value gifts are inspiring leader, trustable, support the others in need, positive outlook, serves with a greater cause, willing to take on difficult challenges, compassionate, speaks the truth, perseverant, organized, and sensitive to the needs of the masses. So, like you said, you're there and you're like, I feel bad, but so try not to do that, because it's not helping in the long run. You just misery together, yay! Like, try to like communicate with the other girls and come up with a plan to overshoot that shit show. And you also have artists here too, so if all else fails, go be the artist. You went to school for that. You have all that you need. That could be the freedom that would make your life feel good. And like, yay, I'm doing something for me, when I want, how I want, where I want, when I want. It's not like being fucking, messed with by that lady. You could work with children. You could work with animals. You could do counseling through art. There's a lot of different ways. But you are a leader, and you're the leader in your life. So talk to your angels, follow your heart's desires, and know that justice will be yours. Light and love is yours to share with the world in any way that you decide to do it. And your life purpose will fully support you, but you got to trust that and know that. Be like, all right, it doesn't matter what I want to do. If I feel good and it fills my heart up and it makes me feel happy, that's all that fucking matters. And I can let go and trust. And I can have all of the abundance that I need, and all of the freedom that I want, and all of the good things that matter to me if I do it. So, do it. It says, engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. So maybe even just doing some, like, art will help you to kind of, like, heal and feel better about things. And then writing or reading, there's something to do with being an author. Maybe you need to write out something that's happened, or write something that you've always wanted to write. Maybe you've wanted to write a children's book, or maybe you've wanted to teach people about art in a book, or whatever you have inside of your brain that you can share with others, or you feel a calling to share. Or maybe you just need to write a book for yourself to read. Keep track of your progress, because you have progress along the way, and you've been through a lot of shit, and you've changed, and you've evolved, and you've grown, and you've healed, and you've learned. So, be that spiritual teacher for yourself, and recognizing how far you've come. And allow yourself to decide what you want for yourself, that's not based off of, whoa, but I feel bad for these people, or I should stay and help this one. You are a natural healer, so you're going to feel that desire to heal, but sometimes the best thing is to make a change rather than just staying the same and suffering with your friends. I'm dead. I just went through this at my job. Oh God. My throat has been hurting a bit. Tired, driving home from work. Yeah, I think this moon made everybody tired. Jenny, did you have a set question? Look at that. Go on fucking, we all need to go on vacation. This is like, go on holiday, then you'll find your way. Just like, take a fucking break. Yes. I want to go to Peru, but I don't know, like, not right now. Not with my feet like this. I can't walk. Not long. Up mountains and shit, I'd be like, and then it's like high altitude, and you get all fucking fluffy and puffy and shit. Hi, handsome. I feel once I finish hypnotherapy, it will unblock my twin. Whatever spirit wants me to know. Okay.
I just got back at the very last day of January from Virginia, and I took an Amtrak, and I plan to go to Hawaii in August with my friend and her son. Nice. Maybe I'll go to Hawaii or something. Somewhere that I can just sit. Can I just sit? Chaos or creation? How you choose to live will be what you see. Divine in the line or chaotic side of mind. So, I feel like you are creating, you're healing. You're getting your brain and your beliefs right. And so you're creating the pathway. And you're creating that belief of like, once I get this done, he's going to come in. Or like that space is going to be there. So just that alone can create that pathway. And your divine desserts can come. Sweet treats of ecstasy, a true divine delicacy. I think you were the one that I had spoken to about like, cleaning and making the space and like the energetic room for things, but like that could be in different ways. It's like, what do you have in your home, or what do you have in your mind? What do you have in your car? Like when you get in the car, do you act like there's nobody there? Nobody's ever gonna be there. So I just like throw my fucking shit right there and boom, pile it all up. And then when I come home, like that side of the bed is just like boom, all piled up. And when I go to the closet, there's no room for another person, and you know what I mean? Like there's just no space for another person, or like even the thought of another person like ever being there or whatever. But it can even just be like sometimes taking the focus off of other things and like getting ingrained into something. Like I'm going to organize this thing, I'm going to clean that thing, I'm going to do that thing, can help us to, shift our mind. I feel like this year is all about travel. Yeah, definitely. It'd be nice. I just need new feet. The day that I did, when did I talk to you? I talked to you on Thursday for the readings, and I had said that to you. Then Sunday was the full moon. So I think Friday was the day. Saturday was the day I cleaned all day, and then I heard from the person that night after I was cleaning. I was like, oh my god, that's what I just told Jenny to do. And clearing out that energy, clearing out that space, I feel like that was almost like an energetic thing. I didn't do it for that purpose. I wasn't like, let me do this for this purpose, but that's what manifested. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I wanted you to know that, because it like, I'm not pulling it out my ass. I think it's true. I think when you create space, not only just create space, like you're cleaning up your energetic space, you're cleaning up your home. Like obviously you don't want to see anybody or talk to anybody or have anybody around if your space is a mess, right? Or your home's a little fucked up. Like you're not in that vibe. But if you clean up, it's like you don't mind seeing another person or having somebody into your space. So that idea alone is like, oh. And then you're not thinking about that person. You're not thinking about that outcome. You're not attached to an outcome. So that outcome can come easier, because it's like, I'm not doing it for that purpose. I'm doing it with the purpose of knowing that I'm clearing out whatever energetic shit is in this house that's like in my way of, like, I was doing it for abundance. I was doing it for good stuff to come in and manifest. Like, I wasn't like attached to a person or a specific outcome. But if that's what comes in, that's what comes in. And there's a reason for it. So I was in the receptive energy, just open to whatever. And that's what happened to be whatever. It's like impatience. They will be back just like that. If you're receptive and open and nurturing, and you clean that space, and you act as if, I'm already like open to that type of person being around me, or I'm open to those types of experiences showing up. I'm open to those things. My focus isn't on just money. My focus isn't on just him. My focus isn't on whatever. It's balance between the creator and the receptor. I'm going to create by like cleaning and creating that space. But then I'm going to be receptive by, noticing that text that came in, and okay. And then like stop and look at what you have. All you want will be found. Look at the patterns. Like when I figure this shit out and I actually apply myself to it, and it makes sense in my mind, and it makes sense energetically, then I can trust it. So divine inspiration comes in an instant. It was created to last beyond the infinite. So just know that. Like take those steps in your life. Usually it's when you're doing it without like, so I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I'm definitely going to clean my whole house right now with that knowledge. I just want you to be aware of that concept. And then
have no attachment to those actions, but start making those actions in your life. Start being mindful about, like, am I making space in my car? Am I making room energetically as if I'm open to somebody sitting in my passenger seat, or me sitting in someone else's passenger seat, or somebody coming over to visit? Or would I freak the fuck out if somebody knocked on my door right now and wanted to come on in? You know, like, if that's the case, then you're going to be giving off a vibe of, like, don't knock on my fucking door, don't ask to come to see me, don't ask to blah, blah, blah. And whether or not we're aware of it, or whether or not they're even aware of it, they're going to feel it. And they're going to be like, I'm not going to call right now, or I'm not going to say anything right now. But when you make the pathway, you clear the space, and, like, the thing's open, and you're not, blah, it happens. And it's always when you least fucking expect it, too. Like, I was like, I'm laying down dying. Like, I wasn't thinking about it at all. But when we change our fears, too, we work on the belief systems that we have, which you said you're doing. Those beginnings and endings are one and the same. So as you end that cycle of having those fears and you're shifting that consciousness, that may be enough to stop and look around, and all you want will be found. But if we don't choose to grow, then decades will come and go. But I feel like you have chose to grow, and you are reconciling the past. You are surrendering to this new chapter, and you've been through the dark. You've had to feel your heart. You were sad at different times, but you don't have to be. Yes, I need to do it for that too. I need to do it. I feel, I've been saying I have so much stuff I need to get rid of. I know. I have a lot of stuff, like, everywhere, and some of it's just, like, my mother's stuff. Like, when my mother passed away, it was like, my stepdad was like, do you want this? Do you want this? My sisters, do you want this? Do you want... Nobody else took any fucking thing. And I'm like, guys, like, I don't want to throw it all out because I feel like a fucking asshole. I'm one of those people, like, you give me a card, I'm like, when is the day that I'm supposed to throw this away? So I just keep them forever. Like, it's like my birthday card from fucking 1999. I'm like, I don't know when's the right amount of time to throw that shit out. And if somebody gives me something, and even if it breaks, a lot of times I'm like, let me keep it because it was a gift. Even though it's broken in a million pieces, I'll keep all the million pieces. It's not a good thing. I have a weird, like, sentimental value attached to stuff, but it creates a bunch of shit that you don't need. And I'm like, ugh. And then my mother had a bunch of fucking antique shit that, like, she just bought it because she thought it was going to be worth money. Like, it has no sentimental shit in her mind. She's like, maybe this will be worth money. Oh, maybe this. Oh, maybe that. So now I have a bunch of it. But it is kind of cool, some of it, like, to use, like, the bottle for making the black water, but... There's a lot of stuff that, like, I don't even, like, there's a creepy little fucking baby carriage downstairs. It's like a real human baby carriage, but it's, like, ugly as shit. And it's, like, shiny and brown, and I don't know what the fuck, like, my dad's creeped out by it. Yeah, gold. It's, like, a gold and fucking nasty. And then there's, like, a little baby, like, it's baby stuff. I don't like kids, like, on that level of, like, scary, like, ghosts and shit. Like, the ring girl is, like, the scariest thing to me. I'd rather see, like, a huge man goblin thing. I'm like, I can take you, but a child, no. My mother, yeah. And I feel like all the stuff that my mother had is, like, old stuff. Not just, like, this like, your normal run-of-the-mill, like, mom's fucking cups. That's, like, those aren't mom's cups. Those are the cups that mom bought from that fucking weird place down the street under the thing. Has, like, all these attachments. And then I keep seeing stuff that people are like, there's like a medium guy that, a psychic guy, I don't know how I became friends with him. He's like, he made a post around the same time that I realized I had the mirror that was like, for like months, my feet were in front of the fucking mirror while I was asleep, and I'm like, oh my god! And his post just read, he wasn't even talking about it, he was just like, be careful of the items you keep in your home. And the first comment I could see on the post was like, I've always been afraid of mirrors. And I'm like, what the fuck are the chances of that? Because it was like the day before something was said about mirrors, and then the day before that I watched something on YouTube about mirrors, and about fucking people cursing you through mirrors, and I've always been afraid of mirrors since I was little. I used to flip the fucking mirrors around before I go to sleep at night. I had a dresser set, it was like one tall dresser, and then like a long dresser, a tall dresser, and two mirrors that went with the set. And I would literally flip them around, like, every night, because I couldn't deal with them facing me. It's, like, way too scary. And I didn't find out till later on that they're portals, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But like, it's kind of weird that my feet are being attacked, like on my body parts, and I've been sleeping with them in front of a fucking mirror. I don't know. We also had the 8th house. I circulate death and rebirth, deep bonds, sex. So I feel like he's probably circulating back around too. It's like as you go through your cycles and as you clear out the old ones, new ones show up. You become more aware of yourself, or a new level of self-awareness. Like, I'm not that version of myself anymore. Now I'm this one. Beauty, love, luxury, desire, devotion, mystery, pleasure, artistic, Venus. This is like sexual energy. So I feel like as you're being that divine feminine essence, that high priestess, empress energy in your own life, going into that new cycle with a perspective, positioning, and seeing from the grand scale, and you start paying attention to those little nuances of like how your space is, how your home is, how your car is, how your cabinet in the bathroom is, and you know, all of that stuff. All is written in the stars in your heart, the perfect times to start coming near or apart. It's all going to come together, and it's a balance between the creator and the receptor. So create the space and then be receptive for it to open. I've had mirrors break from what? I took off work to clean and do stuff at the house and got sick, and there was no room in my house for, oh gosh. See, like, my Reiki room is pretty good. Like there's not only thing that ever happens down there is like my dad will just like throw a bunch of laundry in there, but it's all clean. Like, it comes out of the laundry and just gets put in there. Like, so that's like the extent of it. Then down in the living room, there's really not that much shit. Like, it's pretty open, empty space. This room is like craziness because I have all the stuff in there from her, and I have all the decks up there that were given as gifts, and then I have 5 fucking dogs, and I got the table, and I got the desk, and I got the this, and I got the that. But this room's really, really big. I realized it a few times when I've like set this room up, and I'm like, this is a really big fucking room. Like I could not put this much stuff in any of the other bedrooms that I think I've ever been in. Even just like upwards, it's really big, but the basement gets clogged with stuff. But my dad is in like a room that goes over to the basement area, so I can't even really get in there. Like, I never feel comfortable to go over there to get to my stuff that's over there. He knocked it. The cat jumped and it broke. Dolls creep me. Yeah, dolls creep me out too. When I grew up, my aunt Bridget lived in the house behind. Like, they gave us the land in front of their land, and it was used to be 2 horse corrals. They had a pony barn and the big barn, and the big barn had a horse loft, like a hay loft, and then there was like another thing behind that, and then there was all these fucking cars and forms and concrete and craziness. But in the top one, like the hay loft, apparently when we moved, like one of my old toy boxes went up there, and I also lost Sam at the same time. So my dad gave me that thing with the day I was born. I have a stuffed dog named Sam, and his name's Samuel, and the day I was born he gave it to me, and that's Sam, okay? Day I was born, he gave him to me. We moved out, like, I was like 4 years old. My dad, you know, he got drunk. He's like, who do you want to live with? And I'm like, I want to live with both of you. It was a traumatic thing. He laughed. I was like, oh my God, it's my fault. So then we lived in an apartment, and my closet had like a drop down. Like you could, like there's the thing up there, but then when you would throw things up there was a drop down. So my mom thinks that I threw Sam up in there and he like dropped down. So he was gone for like years, and every time I'd go to look for, because I fucking hunted for him, I was like down, like I was gonna find him. And this is how dumb, because like we built that house from the ground up, but I would like check the closets and shit, like it was just gonna magically appear, and I'd go out to that barn, and in that barn those dolls were in there, and they would always creep me out. But when I was in 7th grade, I came home from school one day, and my mom was in the kitchen, and she had Sam in her fucking arm, and I just started bawling because somebody brought him to the secondhand store, like right down the street from where we lived. Like, now it's a Honeydew Donuts that burnt, the apartment burnt down. It's now a Honeydew Donuts. But at some point, somebody found Sam, brought him to the secondhand store. I know it's Sam because we sewed his nose back on with yellow thread. He had hot glue on his paws, and he had a hole under here. And so it's the exact same one. He came back. He came back. And I wrote my story about him in my GED thing. When I went to get my GED, the lady was like, "Oh my God, you should write a actually story about this." He's probably dusty. My dogs try to eat everything that's mine, so yeah, he's dusty. Boy, Sam. How you doing, Sammy? His little tag's off, but I still have his little Samuel tag. It was on when we got him. He had a Samuel bum tag. Here's his hole. This is his nose thread. I don't know if it still looks yellow, but kinda. And then the glue on his paws. That's from an operation, like a pretend operation. Oh yeah, look, here's a thread. What are the fucking chances? I was like 4 to 14. For 10 years this guy was gone. My dad used to do pretend, like once he was gone, my dad would make like the dog, like shadow on the wall. But I couldn't sleep for like years. So I was like, I need Sam! Like, I was traumatized. But we got him back when I was, really old. I'm glad you got him back. My house is in limbo. I used to live in my basement and rented it out to me upstairs. I moved upstairs when I split with my twin and left half of my stuff downstairs. I should come over and help. I'm a freak show. Like, if somebody else has cleaning to do, I'm like, yeah, let me do it all. I'll clean it all and organize. Like, if my sister's like, I need help with my closet, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But with my own shit, I'm like, oh, I don't really. I'll start and then stop. Like, much better at doing everybody else's. I never thought about the stuff. The way you just said totally resonated. Oh, good. Oh, goodness. I'm glad you got him back. Oh, yeah, it's an off fucking story because it's, like, weird. And I traumatized myself, like, in that barn and stuff because there was no lights up there and it was scary. But I'm like, I'm going to find him. Like, I just assumed that he would be up there with all the other things because there was, like, old Barbies and those fucking naked, like, eyeballs that, like, pick it up and so one eye looks at you. And that's about it. He was never up there. I found another dog, but it was like a smaller dog, and I'm like, this ain't him. Like, but I wasn't even sure at that point anymore because I was a kid. So it was like, I wasn't even sure what I was looking for anymore. But then as soon as I saw him, like when she turned around in the kitchen under her arm, and I was like, I just started bawling. I was like fucking 7th grade. Like, I wasn't a little girl, but I guess it was because like it was like he kind of took the place of my dad, but then he was gone too, and I'm like, what the fuck? I stop and start. Yeah, you need like an approach if it's like a big area, like if you got an upstairs and a downstairs and a just like take it in steps or like I'm gonna do the closet and then I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna be done. Would be the best bet, I would think. But if you're like me with ADHD, it's like you can't just do that. It's like I'm gonna put some laundry in and I didn't close the top, but I'll be back in 2 hours and realize, oh, poop poop. And now I'm gonna go over here and mop this floor, but not all of it, just this part of the floor. And then I'll be back and that water will be cold, but I guess I'm gonna use it anyways because it's the water that I made for it. And it's not dirty yet, it's just cold. Maybe I can heat it up. Oh, like it's not ever like a normal circle of like getting anything done. But can be a benefit for certain work. Like, I don't know, like my work has been like that because it's like, oh, I can bounce around. But once I got the Lyme, it was like my brain went dead and it was like, I don't know what I'm doing at all anymore. And then the physical pain makes it so that like you can't think sometimes. It's like you're just in so much agony that you're just like, I cannot focus on anything except for the fact that like I need to lay down and like send all of my love to my foot or like whatever. But I feel like it's leaving the body because it was in the ribs, then it went away finally, and it was like slowly going down because it was in my knees really bad for a while. So I'm telling myself it's exiting the body. It's just like it's on its way out. It's almost out. It's gone. It's gonna be leaving soon. Hopefully, because yeah, look at light codes of ascension, breaking old paradigms. I'm out of that fucking here. I'm about to come into a season of expansion and be good. And I need to heal myself to heal others. So I gotta fucking finish ALCYONE light healing. That was the dumbest fucking part of it. It's like, oh, I got sick. I'm gonna stop trying to heal myself. Bye. I'm just gonna fucking find someone else to do it because I'm not good. All right. Well, I do gotta do some other things. And tomorrow, I can't remember what I was doing. What the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, gonna post your ALCYONE light healing tomorrow. I gotta make body butters, and then I was gonna do a live randomly on Thursday somewhere. And probably not on here because I did this one on here. But who knows? Maybe I'll do it on here so everybody can talk. That's out there. And then, yeah, that's it. So, but the next one is I am a conduit meditation for ALCYONE light healing. I didn't do that one, did I? No, I did the release fear and limitation activation, but I didn't have people. I didn't set it up as like an activation with payment. I just did donation. Then the bonus third eye level 6, seeing with the ancient eye meditation, and then we go to level 7, and it's just like almost done. So hopefully it would be like I can be healed at the end. Yes. What are you doing this weekend? I'm supposed to do a healing for Twin on Saturday, but Sunday I'll be open. If you want to do Sunday. Yay, ALCYONE light healing. I usually like, you know me. I'm like most of my stuff is not usually like early morning. It's like after 2 or after whatever is like when I usually am like functional and able to do things. Or when I like prefer to do things. I can do them earlier, but I don't usually because I'm not a morning person and I need time to wake up. Why is that? I hate this fucking thing. And I did fix the thing on my website too, so if you want to message me and let me know, we can set it up on there and figure it out. But yeah, I'm sure. If not, I will see you soon anyhow. Why is it? Here we go. I don't know. Yeah, so just message me back on however it is. I don't know what it does for you on your side. You need like 2 hours or so? Well, what's a good time that you like to do 2 hours worth of stuff? I'm okay. Oh yeah, yeah. All right. Message me on there because this is like there's a delay and stuff, so it's like so message me tomorrow on there. Okay. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. And Munay Namaste.